Fast Lane on Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 202, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Well, we know now that the NHL lottery, much like the NBA lottery and much like the NHL lottery in years past, rigged.
It's pretty hard not to think it isn't, right? Like a couple of years ago when I saw Chicago and I evaluated the other teams that were possibilities for Connor Bedard, I said on these airwaves, there's no way Chicago doesn't win the lottery.
Right.
That market is too big and they need a star. They've got to get that franchise going again. The last time the Toronto Maple Leafs, by the way, missed the playoffs and were involved in the lottery, they got first overall.
And?
Yeah.
Wound up with?
I
remember?
forget who. But first overall.
Yeah.
This time, first overall.
Interesting.
How does that even happen? How do you jump so far up? Like, it's so stupid. Vancouver was by far the biggest steaming pile of you-know-what all season long. And they don't even get second. They're the Sharks. You're Sharks. I mean, it was a party.
Not my Sharks.
It was a watch party last night at Stalter's house.
It's not. Vancouver gets third.
The Sharks don't even want it.
No.
Gur's only like, what do you got for me? I got enough draft picks. We've been bad for so long.
Right. This is what, like the 487 time, I think, in a row that they've picked in the top five?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say it's rigged because I'd like to believe it's not. But, man, is it hard to not think that there's a little something going on. And, 2 days before, the day before, the Maple Leafs are under scrutiny for hiring John Chayka. We have this media problem going on, and then all of a sudden, look over here. They've got first overall now.
How about that?
Yeah, it's something, all right.
Yeah, so Toronto receives the number one pick. The Sharks are second, Canucks third, Blackhawks 4, Rangers 5, Flames 6, Kraken 7, Jets 8, Panthers 9, Predators 10, and our St. Louis Blues will pick 11th. The pick that they got from Detroit puts them at 15th. So 2 picks in the top 15.
Yep, it's not bad. But the Blues, much like the Sharks, I don't know how much they need the draft picks right now. Like, a lot of talk of packaging and trading up, trying to get to that number 2 spot with San Jose, since Mike Greer basically said, hey, phone's on. Somebody sparked my interest. I just don't think the Blues need another couple of players in the first round that are, from 10 to 32 in that range. You're already in that process.
Yeah, it makes sense certainly to go up and package those picks and get up as high as you can. I don't know if any team is going to be willing to do that, but it certainly would make sense for the Blues, who really have stockpiled talent and picks over the years. It would make more sense for them to group those picks, go up, get the best player available that they can, but you need a dance partner for that.
You do.
My question that I was going to ask you, Jamie, what pick number? Because it seems like in hockey, it's generally the top 3 picks, top 5 picks that are impact players.
Depends on the draft. Like certain drafts, you go back and look, and you look at the first or 8 of the first 11 players taken, and they've turned into stars in the NHL. So it's tough. But predominantly, someone who's going to affect your roster like right away, top 3, maybe top 4 pick.
So in order the Blues probably nobody's going to trade back to get those 2.
The San Jose Sharks, because they've been bad for so long, they have already used a whole bunch of draft picks. So San Jose, merely missing out on the playoffs this year, they're ready for that. The next phase in their rebuild.
So they need a player.
They want players.
Gotcha.
Okay. They want players. And that's why I think Mike Greer said that, the phone is on.
Right.
So could you package a roster player and a draft pick, or a minor league player, a roster player, over to San Jose plus a first-round pick where they still get to pick in the first round?
Would it be 2 first-round picks? Would that be too much?
But it depends on what you take off the roster.
I got you.
Because if they're looking for roster players, and just to satisfy everybody, let's say it's Jordan Kyrou. Okay? Jordan Kyrou plus an 11th overall pick, whatever. It's a pretty good package. You might have to throw in a second, as far as like a second round pick.
Okay.
To kind of get that done. But if Greer says, I don't want your Kyrou, well, then you're like, okay, well, what are you looking for? And odds are probably like, well, we like Jake Neighbors. So then you have a decision to make.
Got you.
You know, because teams, they look at the roster the Blues have just like we do, and they know what's good, what might not be, what had a good year, maybe didn't have a good year. They're not foolish. And they might say, yeah, you know what, we like Juracek. He's really turned into a hell of a player. Send us Juracek and a first-round pick, and here you go. Counterproductive for the Blues, in my opinion. Because why would you get rid of a stud young player who's going to be a part of your blue line for many years for a question mark? You don't know.
Right.
Don't know what Stenberg's going to be, or if it might be Gavin McKenna, depending on what Toronto does. You know, Matt Sundin with his Swedish roots might say, I want Stenberg. And Steen would say, no, you're going to fight me for the Swede, pal.
Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Says Alexander Steen. So we all are on board, though, with the NHL rigging this.
Yes.
So that Toronto can receive Gavin McKenna. Are you guys okay with that based on, like, the health of the league?
How else could you do it? Like, I've never liked anything mechanical or computer generated because there's the possibility of tampering with it. And, yeah,
and maybe AI taking over the world.
Reaching into a hat to pull a name up. I don't know.
That's probably the most fair way.
It might be.
Like, all the names
it's not
in a hat.
very cool looking.
No, but, I mean, you can't tamper with that. If you got 16 teams in there, 15 teams, and you pick one out at a time, like,
I'm with you.
Should they do what the NFL does? And if you finish with the worst record, then you get the number one overall pick.
They used to do it that way. And then they thought that it wasn't fair because some teams were monopolizing it.
Tanking?
Yeah.
Monopolizing. Your word, my word,
Tanking.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so they changed it to a lottery system so that you didn't automatically get the first pick just because you're awful, but everybody had a certain percentage or a chance to get that first pick.
I think that only works in football. Like, the worst team, because your chances of turning that over 1 year, I think, are greater than, like, 82 games, 84 games.
And you're not playing a balanced schedule.
162 games. Yeah, like, I think it's easier to turn it over. One, because it's less games, and two, because, like you just said, the balanced schedule, and it just kind of aligns itself for a much easier path if you are the dead last team in the league and you're picking first.
Yeah.
NHL, I think it's too many games. And then that's also a bad product that you'll be putting out on the ice for, literally just watched it in the NBA, 25, 30 games of non-competitive basketball from some teams because they ain't trying to win.
Yeah.
And they playing players that you've never even heard of. Their families heard of them. Great players, I'm sure, and great people.
Nice guys.
Never. I don't know any of these guys. I don't even remember them from college. Yeah.
Who the hell is that?
You know what's funny, though? I do believe that the Toronto Maple Leafs now have the same amount of number one overall picks in the last 10 years than they have playoff series wins.
Ooh.
So
it's not great, Marsh.
You can get the Austin Matthews of the world. You can get the next guy, whether it's Gavin McKenna or Ivar Stenberg, but that won't guarantee you playoff success.
No, it doesn't.
Nope.
And at this point, I don't consider either of those guys yet a generational talent. Like, Macklin Celebrini, like, that's a generational talent. I've stood firm on this. I never once believed that Connor Bedard was going to be a generational talent. He's played very well on a bad team, and he might still prove me wrong, and that's fine. But so far, he hasn't been that guy. Oh, he's had a bad team. Who the hell does Celebrini have? What do you look at the points he put up. Look at the next guy's point total in San Jose.
We talk about the draft lottery being rigged. I think this conversation, we're looking more so at the number one pick, but what you just said, like, maybe you could think the same thing for the number 2 overall pick because you have the next guy in the NHL and he has absolutely nobody to play with outside of maybe Will Smith.
Yeah. And when you watch the San Jose Sharks, when Celebrini's on the ice,
used to be,
it's a certain way that you can see the way that they play, and when he's not on the ice, it's completely lopsided the other way. So that's how much of a talent he is. And I don't know I've watched Gavin McKenna. I think he's a really good player. I don't know what it translates to against men yet. We'll find out. And as far as Stenberg's concerned, he is playing with men over in Sweden in the first league, and he had a great year. But again, it wasn't North American hockey. There is a little stylistic difference in the way they play. So we'll see if that translates as well.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Is college football headed towards a 2014 playoff? I know this ruffles some people's feathers, but honestly, I never complain about more playoff football. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Cheap, fun.
Let's get dirty, St. Louis, with Dirt Cheap. St. Louis's one-stop party shop. Graduation season is here. Your daughter just had prom, and you can see all the invitations are coming up right now. You might have one or two, sometimes three different get-togethers, whether it's friends, family, or just your kids. You're going to need some things, so stock up over at Dirt Cheap. They've got great product over there, and everything that they've got can fit your budget as well. If it's beers, they've got every kind of beer available, the red wine, the white wine, the rosé, I mean, you name it, they have got it over at Dirt Cheap. And that's the same for barbecue season as well. We know there's holidays coming up. What better way than to get ahead of it right now? Get over to Dirt Cheap, get ahead of that. And the Rivers House, we just opened up the pool. Won't be long till we're having people over there. I've already talked to my friends over at Dirt Cheap, and we're going to get an order placed really, really soon. You can also download the Dirt Cheap app, start saving immediately, getting rewards and points that you can use in-house. You can place an order online to pick up curbside, or you can even have it delivered in some cases. So get on the app, check that out. It's awesome. For any more information at all, visit dirtcheapfunfun.com. Again, that's dirtcheapfunfun.com. Whatever your taste, you will find it at Dirt Cheap. Remember to have fun, but please be careful out there.
Gauntlet on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. Looks like the college football playoff could be expanding again.
Yes.
More playoff teams, potentially 24, is what's being discussed right now. Coaches are pushing for a 24-team college football playoff as college football heads towards participation trophy territory, according to Outkick the Coverage. I don't agree with that, but I know a lot of people. If you're not on board with the college football playoff expanding, guys, the main theme is that you don't get better football, you just get more football, which I understand that aspect of it. And you have way too many teams, so it does feel maybe like a bit of a participation. Now, I don't agree with that. For me, as soon as the playoffs start, it's the same thing with the NFL. When the NFL added a wild card to each conference, the same kind of complaint happened. More teams get in, this is crap. And then when that first Saturday hits and you have 3 NFL playoff games, I really don't know anybody that's complaining
At all.
And that's the same viewpoint I have when it comes to the college football playoff. Is this the best way to crown a champion? I don't know, probably not. But to me, it's the most entertaining way. And as a fan, more college football playoffs, I'm in for.
Agreed. I'm in for it as well. And I think the thing that would make it as exciting, I was watching a Twitter, someone on Twitter saying they were showing the Kick Six, the Alabama-Auburn game. And they're like, and if you have 24 teams, this game won't even matter anymore. If they tied, they're both in the playoffs.
It always matters.
Maybe. But if one of them wins, they may get a bye, and that might be much more needed than actually just tying to get in. So the wins, each game is still going to have the importance that it already has had in college football. Football in general is not a sport where you can take time off and afford to miss a few games because that could be detrimental to your where you are seated, or just like your how you're going about your season. Like, you don't have the same chemistry if you're missing time with multiple players because guys are taking games off or taking time off. So for me, I think that it's a fantastic idea. I think it gives more teams more opportunities, always more football. And then the other thing that we often talk about is how much time those teams get off. Like, I think Indiana had 27 days before they played from the Big Ten championship game to their first playoff game, and then 10 more days before they played Oregon. Hey, that's a lot of time, a lot of downtime. They plan on obviously exceeding the number of teams. Yeah, maybe. Doing away with the conference championship games. The season will end the second week of January, and they won't disrupt the Army-Navy game. So everything will be started right around then, which I hope would lead to less downtime for those first week bye teams. And then you get to play football. You get to watch more teams play, and you get an opportunity to see better teams play as well.
How many teams last year?
16.
16.
No, 12.
12. Sorry.
Okay.
They're talking about potentially moving to 16, then 24.
I think 24 is a lot. I understand. I hear your guys' comments and your opinions, and I don't think you're wrong. But at the same token, I'm looking at a bunch of teams right now that I have no desire to watch play football. Whether it's playoff format or not, I'd still like some drama attached. I think at 16 teams, there's still a level of drama there that you can find. At 24, I just don't know. I don't know if, again, though, it's whether do you want to just watch any kind of football or would you rather watch playoff football? I guess we'll call it playoff football, even though it's crap. You know, but hear me out. Like, it's playoff football. I think it was
crap because of, like, James Madison and the teams that you had to put in. You're going to have those.
You're going to have 24 competitive teams that could win it.
You're going to have
no chance.
You're going to have a Georgia Tech team in that was playing really well. You're going to have a Virginia team in.
You can cherry pick all you want. 24
what
teams
I'm telling you is the James Madisons of the world. Nobody needed to see that. And that's no knock against James Madison.
Number 19, Carey.
Yeah, they are number 19, but who they played matters as well. So
but
when
you're
playing
that point right now. Nobody wants to see that.
My point is, James Madison, I think you feel that way because you saw James Madison in the playoffs last year.
I think it's inevitable.
James Madison will still be in the playoffs, but so will a Virginia, so will a Georgia Tech, so will some of these other teams that were Michigan. You don't think Michigan has a chance to win?
You're isolating Michigan. You said Georgia Tech, Virginia, all these.
I also said Michigan and USC. Those teams would also be in the playoffs.
You think USC had a chance to win?
Definitely.
The whole thing?
To win a game or two, for sure.
Well, let's celebrate that.
But it changes everything depending on who you're playing and who you beat.
You don't think you can find enough drama at 16 teams?
Nah.
Like, I understand the bias because you guys are football guys. I get it.
Yeah.
If you tempted me with, although I've said I've been adamant that I don't want the NHL to ever go to a play-in tournament because I think that's crap too. I'm not disrespecting the fact that the playoff football would be fun. I'm just saying you're going to get some games that
Well, you will, but you're going to get that. You're going to get that no matter what.
At 16, I feel like the percentages are lower.
How would you feel?
At 12 was fine for me, but if we want to expand it because we want to expand it, I would be like, okay, 16. 24 feels a lot, man.
How would you feel if it was just Vegas, Colorado, right? And then on the other side, it was Carolina, Buffalo. That's it. That's your playoffs. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, but Anthony, you're going back in the past. I just told you 12 is fine.
Would you just answer the question?
Well, okay, let's do this then. Let's do Colorado versus Carolina. That's the only one.
Well, yeah, it sucks, right?
Well, if we want to go back, let's go back to 1 and 2 like it used to be.
I
used to
enjoy
call that
hockey.
the Orange Bowl, Carey.
Good times.
I enjoy watching playoff hockey. That Colorado LA Kings series wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
But you know what? They were tight. A couple of games provided some drama. I'm in. It's more hockey. Do you feel good about that? I think we can all agree more hockey, more playoff hockey is better, right?
I wouldn't agree with that because now if you're bringing in more crap teams, then why? Who wants to watch that?
Yeah, honestly, Jamie, I'm a little surprised by your attitude right now.
You're talking 1 through 8, aka 1 through 16.
16.
Where if we want to do that game, then it would be Colorado versus one of the teams that were fighting for the number 1 pick last night.
How many teams?
The Winnipeg Jets.
How many teams in the NHL?
32.
32, right? So 8 in each conference make it, correct? So half the league makes it.
Well, you're not going to have half the college football league.
Let's do half college football.
Let's do it.
You can't do that.
I'm with you.
I think you guys are smart.
Yep, they did it.
I think what you guys have just done here is brilliant.
That's great, guys.
64 teams.
College
64
football
teams
is what,
in.
264 teams?
There's 120 some. Yeah.
Let's do 64.
Let's have 64 teams in the
Let's do
playoff.
it.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? NHL, half the league.
Ratings will be way up.
That'd be awesome.
Do you want quantity or quality?
I want entertainment.
Okay.
I want
Some
entertainment.
of this is not going to be entertainment. It will be for you because you're a football guy. But for the casual fan, or even a little more than the casual fan, I'd be like, crap.
Well, you could miss the next great, unbelievable
or you could miss
matchup.
an absolute bloodbath that nobody cares about.
You already got that anyways.
Yeah.
Might as well get
Why do I want it in my playoffs?
Might as well get more football.
Why would I want that in my playoffs?
You already had it in your playoffs. Did you not
the
watch
first 2
Texas
weeks
Tech?
of the season of the bloodbath season?
Nah.
Why would I want that in my playoffs?
You already had it.
You want it twice?
Why not?
You're being
Give
silly.
them a chance. Did anybody think TCU could beat that Michigan team?
No.
And make it to the national championship?
They did make it.
Wait. How many teams
Did
were involved
anybody
in that
think
playoff?
that Michigan would lose that game?
4.
Nobody.
4, Carey.
And
Not
TCU
24.
on one night, I saw a documentary. It says any given Sunday,
Yeah.
any given Saturday, any given Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the MAC, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Someone else said that too.
Do you know who was almost left out of the college football playoff last year? Team that Marsh loved. That'd be the Miami Hurricanes.
Man.
Go
And
you.
where did they go?
They went to the national championship game. Pulled off one of the best upsets in ever
16,
Bob
right?
against Ohio State.
16 teams?
Wouldn't they even had
I'm sorry.
Wouldn't they
That's
even
right.
had
It
a
was even
chance.
less.
Almost got left out.
That's
Almost
right.
got left out.
Almost got left out because of people like you.
You know who did get left out?
Marsh.
Notre Dame.
Would they have been left out
They
at
could
16
have won the national
teams?
championship.
No. Would Notre Dame have been left out at 16
I
teams?
don't know. Maybe.
You want to know who?
But I don't need St. Charles Community College in at 23.
Hey, the fighting something or others.
They don't have a
They
football
deserve
program.
Pirates.
Yet.
Sure.
But they're going to make a football program
Sycamores.
because they can make the playoffs now.
I love it.
You know who would have been in that playoff?
Who?
a team that lost to Duke in the ACC championship game.
Yeah, that's right.
That's terrible.
You know who Ohio State lost
would've
to?
been in too.
You know who Ohio State lost to when they won the national championship a couple of years ago? A Michigan team that was awful, and apparently its head coach was talking to OnlyFans at halftime. That's who Ohio State lost to, okay? You're going to have some bad games along the way. Mm-hmm. But the true measure of a team is what you do in the playoffs.
Yeah. Even if you don't belong there?
So
That's correct.
What does this do for the transfer portal? Because now the season will be longer.
Mm-hmm.
The game's not like even next year. The national championship game is in late January, and that is without 24 teams. What does that do for? I'm just
It
curious.
should alter the schedule if they were smart.
Well, they can't.
Bite your
They can't
tongue.
alter the transfer portal window because it's based off of school. Like it's not based off of just football. So it's based
Although we
off
think
of.
it's based around athletics, it's not.
Now, what you should get is some type of waiver. You know what I mean? You were playing football. I don't know, but they base it off of the school semester. So
Sure.
most of those schools start back their first semester
Right.
before.
But we're
the
talking about
football
the
season
following
ends.
year, though, right? So, like, if you're still playing, that's still the second semester of that year. So you're still plenty of time to get enrolled for the following fall.
No. You got to be enrolled. They're trying to get enrolled for that second semester of school. So when January session starts, that's the second semester. That's when most of these kids are in the transfer portal trying to get enrolled in school. That's why it's so difficult
You screw all that
now.
up, Anthony. It's about education.
Well, no, I'm still saying, like, let's say, I don't know, but just Carson Beck, right? Because we used the Miami example. So Carson Beck, let's say he was still in school, but he's playing in the national championship game. If he wanted to transfer, he still had plenty of time to transfer.
It would be,
But it'd have to be the fall.
No. But they canceled that transfer portal window, so it's only one window, which is the January window.
Well, move it to the fall then.
Well, you don't get that spring game though.
Then they don't get the entire off season of work.
It's part of the punishment of transferring.
I'm not
You weren't involved in the spring game,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
right?
I want
I don't
kids to
disagree.
graduate, okay?
Since when?
It's about education, okay? Not every one of these guys is going to
This is true.
sign that big contract.
You're
you
right
know?
about
Not
that.
everybody's
Very
as
true.
talented as you are.
Do what you had to do to play. We ain't playing much now, are you? All right. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. CD and I are in favor. Jamie and Marsh are not, but that's okay.
terrible.
That's all right.
I'm not here to line the pockets of millionaires, Anthony.
Carey and I aren't either. We're just here to watch more football.
That's it.
Selfish.
That's all I
That's all
wanna
you
do.
are. Just being selfish.
Marsh has got what's trending for you next on 101 ESPN.
The Fast Lane is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right, turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. FanDuel makes it easier to get closer to the action, from player props to your favorite stars, to all the tools you need to back them up. And you got the Sixers taking on the Knicks tonight. Joel Embiid is down, and maybe Tyrese Maxey says, it's my turn, I'm going to go off. Jalen Brunson, maybe you want to take him over in points. OG Anunoby, maybe you want to take him in points, rebounds, and assists. He's been doing a fantastic job. Cat has been leading the team in doing what he does well and getting a lot of assists and rebounds, so maybe you want to take him as well. Do it all on FanDuel. It's everything you need, all in one app, so don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. Must be 21 plus. And present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals currently trail the Milwaukee Brewers by a score of 5-0 in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll keep you updated on that one. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we'll have game number 2 between the Golden Knights and the Ducks. Pregame starts at 8. Puck drop is at 8:30. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Here's what's trending.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentleman, Framber Valdez is back up to his usual tricks. Last night, the Detroit Tigers took on the Boston Red Sox, and the Red Sox put a thumping on Framber Valdez. That led to him causing another altercation, except for this time it was the other team except for his own teammate. Take a listen from the gentleman on Nesson.
Trevor Story's going to get drilled. That's tired. After the back-to-back home runs, Valdez plunks him. And some of the Red Sox coming out. And some of the Tigers coming out. And both benches are emptying.
You can't get them out, so you throw at them. What a joke.
Red Sox bullpen is about to enter this thing, too, as they race across the outfield grass. No punches or anything thrown.
No, the one guy who caused it's hiding in the back.
That is weak. You give up 3 home runs, back-to-back shots, and then you drill Trevor Story.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't cross up his catcher now that he's mad.
Oh, a little shot there at the end for Framber Valdez,
shot.
who, of course, at one point when he was with the Houston Astros, decided to fire a fastball at his catcher, who handled it incredibly well. I forget the name of the catcher.
Hey, because that'd have been the first catcher on pitcher fight in MLB history. Mm-hmm. Because I'd have definitely went out to talk to him and check his temperature.
Yeah, absolutely. You all right?
Not that way.
No.
I didn't know if we're doing traditional or old school.
Traditional.
Yeah. Valdez, you know, what's interesting about Framber Valdez's market in the offseason, it really cratered. He does have some ace-level production, but the recent meltdown here is evidence that there's a broader argument about how Major League Baseball evaluates talent beyond pure numbers. And I think all teams do this, but there wasn't a huge market for him because he's kind of salty, doesn't handle his business in the right way. And as the Nesson crew mentioned last night, this isn't the first incident with Framber Valdez. Somebody that's 73-44 with lifetime with a 3.23 ERA and a 1.17 WHIP, no hitter, MLB record 25 straight quality starts, should have received more than 2 years at $70 million from a club last year. So there's a lot going on here, I think, with Framber Valdez, and perhaps that cross-up incident was the smoking gun. You know, a lot of people maybe suspected that he's a bit of a turd bucket, didn't sign him, and now we're seeing again why.
Yeah. Not a great. I mean, I don't care about him throwing at Trevor Story at all, quite honestly. You give up 2 home runs, you want to start a fight, go ahead, do it.
Well, stand there then.
Yeah, well, stand there.
You pick the fight, you stand there.
Yeah, but listen, this is baseball. Nobody fights. Like, come on, Nick.
Nobody.
Oh, and they're coming out of the bullpen. Why? They'll be out of breath by the time they get to home plate, and they got to go back.
No, they run a lot. Those pitchers run a lot.
I just mean, like, it's useless.
Okay, got it.
More so than I wouldn't really insinuate they're out of shape. It's useless.
Got it.
So that part of it, I don't care. Crossing up your teammate or sewering your teammate, that's a whole other thing for me. I don't like that at all. And, he suffered the consequences, really. He stayed out on the market longer than he needed to. Did he really suffer financially? Probably a little bit, but still making really...
Oh, yeah, he's being hurt.
He's fine. These are some of the pitchers, like, Max Scherzer has never crossed up, one of his own catchers, I don't think, on purpose. But, everybody applauds Max Scherzer for his insanity and some of the things he does. Oh, he's intense. He's a guy. Okay, I'm not saying Framber Valdez is Max Scherzer, but, we applaud one guy and the other guy drills a guy between the numbers in the back. And, now would Max Scherzer have stood in there and try to throw down somebody? Probably, I think.
Right. I mean, if we don't, let's not do Max Scherzer. Let's do Chris Carpenter. Chris Carpenter was tough as nails. If he had to say something, like to a Brendan Ryan, for example, he tried to pull him in to the probably should have pulled him all the way into the clubhouse. Nonetheless, spoke to his teammate, made sure that, hey, this is unacceptable. But if Chris Carpenter ever threw at somebody, he was going to stay in there.
Yeah, I agree.
You're going to have to deal.
So Eric Hosmer, he did a little breakdown on X last night talking about this, and he said that he believes the reason why Valdez threw at Story was because the Red Sox were stealing signs at second base, and Story was one of those players, and went into about the foot placement on the bag, and you could tell which pitch was coming if you're the batter based on your runner at second.
Sure.
And he thinks that maybe that is why Framber Valdez hit Trevor Story, not the back-to-back home runs. And I believe, Carey, you brought up the unwritten rules of sports a couple of weeks ago. How do you feel about that situation? It's one thing to give up two home runs. I think that's a little soft. But if someone is stealing your signs and you want to let them know, hey, you can't do that. Do you subscribe to that?
Don't they have pitch com? What's the purpose?
Well, I mean, you could also mix up your sign. I mean, the catcher can recognize that, or if you're Framber Valdez, you pull a timeout and you bring him up.
You can see inside the glove behind
sometimes
second.
Pitchers line up certain ways. They put their hand I remember listening to one. I think it was Rick Ankiel was talking about how a pitcher was tipping his pitches at the home run derby. Was talking about, I forget who he was talking about, said that, if he was going to be a four-seamer, he had his hand a certain way. If it was going to be a curveball, his hand was a different way. His elbow was placed different. So he said, really, has nothing to do with stealing the signs.
He's
stealing the signs that the pitcher, like poker.
Yeah.
You're stealing the tells from the other player.
Yeah, you're tipping your pitches.
Yeah.
That's why Ryan Dempster, if you ever see Ryan Dempster, remember him? He was with the Cubs. He pitched for a long time. He used to do the thing with his glove where he was. Yeah. That's because
he's shuffling the deck.
If he was tipping his pitches. He would dig deep into his glove to make sure he had a great grip on his breaking stuff. Whereas he just his glove would pop out real wide if he was getting a breaking ball. It would be a little bit shorter when he grabbed his fastball. So that's why he just did the thing with his gloves. It's like, good luck. I'm going to do the same thing every time. But that is up to the pitcher. That's the responsibility of the pitcher if you're tipping pitches.
If Framber Valdez was upset about the 2 home runs or stealing signs, who cares? He's allowed to drill a guy just between the numbers. Go ahead, do it.
And then you look him in the eye and say, I know what you did.
Yeah, stand up there and deal with it.
Yep. I agree. All right, that's what's trending here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Is the national media starting to take notice of our Cardinals? Well, based on today's performance, maybe they're...
It's one game.
It's not over.
It's a big game.
It's not over.
It's not over, Anthony.
It's not over.
These rally birds have done it before.
You're right about that. Yeah. Down 5-1, by the way, heading into the top of the 9th. Cardinals trailing the Brewers. All right, national media starting to take notice of the Cardinals. We'll tell you why that might be a possibility next on 101 ESPN.
2-3 year window there, you kind of glazed past the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
How dare you? But you did. There was kind of this malaise on what they were trying to accomplish. It's flipped. They are a fun watch. Every night I put them on. We'll give some love to the starters. The Michael McGreevy's went out on Saturday against the Dodgers and were dominant. Matthew Liberatore shows flashes, right? Riley O'Brien in their bullpen has been kind of a nice find for them, kind of a la Brian Baker. But it's the lineup for me.
That was former Cardinal Mark DeRosa on the MLB Network. That was, I think, yesterday or the day before. The Athletic also had, so you heard what Mark DeRosa said about the Cardinals. The Athletic also has the Cardinals ranked 11th in their latest MLB Power Rankings. They were 21st the last time the Athletic put together the rankings. They're 21-14, soon to be 21-15 record. Currently second place in the National League Central, has surprised most people, and it just seems like if it's an article at MLB.com or ESPN.com or The Athletic, that the national writers have taken notice. And there's a theme here. It's J.J. Weatherholt and Jordan Walker having potential breakout seasons. The young guys doing their thing. It's exciting to watch. ... But the pitching's not great, and eventually this thing probably will fall apart. But there does feel like the national media is taking notice of what the Cardinals are doing.
Yeah, the power rankings you just talked about, where they are now, and then there was another article on The Athletic where they were just doing a mailbag and getting feedback from some fans. And, as one guy says, as a Cardinal fan, I'm beyond surprised and thankful. Cardinals are playing with real grit and passion. We need 3 pitchers, of course, but I love this team's spirit and chemistry. They're saying 1 starter and 2 middle relievers. But I do think that people are taking notice into what this team is doing, because I don't know. Obviously, I don't stay dialed into every team around the league and kind of what their rankings are preseason or whatever their KenPom. What is the equivalent to the KenPom?
No, it was.
What's the number?
No, what was that?
The number for the Coda. Is it Coda?
Pacoda.
Yeah, that guy's always
KenPom,
wrong.
Pacoda, same thing to me. It's all
a little different.
It's essentially the same
There's a P
thing.
in there.
Yeah. Pacoda rankings. Where they're gonna. I don't pay attention to all those teams.
Yeah, the Pacoda standings.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to where every team is slated to be in their own division. But I would believe that the Cardinals, where they were thought to be versus where they are now, has to be one of the most drastic differences for any team in the league that I could think of. Because they were picked dead last, 70, maybe 75 wins. And this team has done a fantastic job of, with the youth, like this texter, like this person on the mailbag says, with grit and kind of passion and determination. Like, we're joking about the game being over, but in all honesty, this team has shown that they do have fight in them and they will not give up. And then it could potentially be a game where they come back in the bottom of the 9th inning. So I think in years past, you would have turned this game off. Like, not you personally, but most people would have turned it off, found something else to do. You're off work on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm not going to keep watching that game. I'm going to do something different. But you want to stay dialed in because they have showed you that they are capable of getting back in any and every game. So, for me, I think this has been outstanding for this season thus far.
Yeah.
It's a surprise. I keep saying it anyways. It's not what I expected. I was mentally prepared to get on this roller coaster ride, and as bumpy as it may get, just kind of try and see the vision of Chaim Bloom and what the Cardinals are trying to do. But we really haven't had to do that.
No.
Not yet. And, this might be a tough one here today where they give up here at home, but that's baseball. I never thought we'd be using that's baseball. I thought, there's another one.
Right.
So this team is fun to watch. Do they need 3 pitchers? Yeah, probably. They need bullpen help. But as far as the roster is concerned, there's a lot of stuff to be excited about, both offensively and certainly defensively.
We will have Blues Q's at the top of the hour, so if you got any Blues-related questions for us, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Again, we'll do Blues Q's in less than 10 minutes. But we're talking about the Cardinals right now, who currently trail the Brewers 6-1 in the top of the 9th at Busch Stadium. Last night's game was postponed, so the Brewers looking for a series split in these 2 games. But we're discussing whether or not the national media has started to take notice, and I do think, one, they have, but two, again, there's a but in anything you read about the Cardinals. Yeah, but they don't have enough pitching. It's not sustainable. In my opinion, here's what's great about all this. I don't care whether or not it's sustainable. Right. I don't care if it's sustainable at all.
It's not supposed.
It doesn't matter.
It wasn't supposed to be. So it's
exactly.
It's like house money right now.
Yep.
So whatever you have, be thankful, be happy for it, and just watch the team play.
Yep.
Because that's exciting, and like you said, a team that had, I won't say no expectations, but very low expectations, and to see them playing this well, yeah. Tune in, watch, enjoy.
The beauty about those low expectations is, again, you don't have to worry about whether or not what you're watching is a mirage. It doesn't matter. This offense has been fun to watch. The pitching has been better thus far than expected. No, the outlier numbers don't look good. At some point, the bottom probably will fall out. But what are we going to do? We're going to wait 2 months and just say, the other shoe's going to drop. And then when it does, see, we're just going to enjoy the ride. And right now, I'm enjoying the ride with this team. So, all good.
Yeah.
Don't care whether or not it's sustainable or not. Cardinals are now heading to the bottom of the 9th inning at Busch Stadium.
Time to roll, baby. Let's go.
Carey has stated.
Go Cards.
Go Birds.
You never know. Andre Palante with a rough start. He did pitch 6 innings, threw 104 pitches. But he was kind of wearing it.
I will say this is probably the first game that I can remember from this season where it got out to a start like that. Mm-hmm. Because normally, and I think that has been kind of beneficial for this team, not having a deficit to start the game. 4 run, you put up a crooked number in the top of the first inning, like you're chasing the game, in my opinion, for the rest of the game, trying to just knock it down, inning by inning, and have been unable to thus far. But I think that's the first time. Like last year, Miles Michaelis and Fetty, the Fed man, they got you started poorly in a number of games, which I felt like the Cardinals were chasing. This game, to me, is like the first time that I can recall that being a first inning of that magnitude.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I think they're losing right now.
Yeah, this is the first time, not the first time, one of the only times this season where the game has felt uncompetitive.
Yeah.
But it really has not been that way throughout the course of the season. It's been great. All right, it's the Fast Center 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, James Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. We're going to do your Blues cues coming up next. So 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. If you have any Blues-related questions, send them there. We'll answer them next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane's Blues Cues.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Time for Blues Cues. You can text your questions into 314-399-9646. Marshy, what do we got?
All right, let's start off with a question from Bacon Wrapped Wiener. And we know that Dylan Holloway just received an extension, and he was on the show yesterday. If you missed that, make sure you go check it out. Podcast page brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. But Bacon Wrapped Wiener wants to know, did Dylan Holloway get a no-trade clause?
No. If I looked at this correctly yesterday, the first 3 or 4 years, he has no trade protection, to my knowledge. Let's see here. Dylan Holloway. Trying to check it out here as we're doing. Yeah, so he's got a modified no-trade clause in 29-30 and a modified no-trade clause in 30-31. It says the modified no-trade clause is a 20-team no-trade in 29-30 and 15-team in 30-31. So he has a no-trade clause, but there still are a path to trading him if the Blues want to. Hopefully they don't want to.
From the 314, what is the plan for Jonathan Drouin for next year? I think some people forget that he is on the team.
Yeah, so Jonathan Drouin, I don't know exactly what the plan is, but he doesn't fit the criteria that Doug Armstrong or Alex Steen have talked about as far as that, that 24 to 28 range. He's a lot older than that, and I think in order to make the money work for the New York Islanders, they asked the Blues to take on Jonathan Drouin's contract as well in return. So Jonathan Drouin has one more year left on his contract. He does have a modified no-trade clause, and that's a 9-team no-trade list. So I imagine that Doug and Alex would probably be looking to explore that, and if not, he might pull the old waivers and buy. I don't know. I don't see Drouin as part of the plan.
Got a quick question.
Sure.
With these modified...
Did you text in, though?
No, well...
This one comes from Carey in the studio.
618.
These modified no-trade clause or no-trade clause or whatever it is. If you're one of the teams you're probably one of the teams constantly on everyone's no-trade city. How does that work? How does that make you feel? Like if you're
there's
one of those
no
teams.
such things as feelings in pro sports, Carey. You know that.
Oh, okay. What was the saying yesterday? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Just work harder. By the way, that guy totally was on the Toronto Overdrive and Toronto radio, the afternoon drive, and said it was an emotional moment. He regretted it almost instantly once they left the podium, that he should have been a better example for the kids and blah, 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 blah. Anyways.
More people tuned in to him now than ever before.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But as far as being a team that's on the no-trade clause, it is what it is. What are you going to do? Draft really well, I guess.
Play better? Jeez. Nobody wants to come here, coach.
Yeah.
Like here in St. Louis, we have a free
not
zoo.
Here. I'm saying one of these no-trade clause cities.
Yeah, like Edmonton
that everybody
was on
is
that
on.
list for a really long time. There's a lot of teams, a lot of players softened on that when they had McDavid and Draisaitl. Some guys, like I know Jordan Binnington, still has it on his list, and he was not willing to even explore that.
Which is hilarious because he's the one guy that everyone in that area wants to bring in.
And I don't know if they ever asked him. To my knowledge, nobody ever asked him to waive his no trade to that spot. So who knows? Who really knows?
From the 618, we keep talking about trade packages to move up in the draft with Cairo involved in the trade. I feel like we forget that he probably wouldn't want to go to many of these teams.
Yeah. Or be traded at all. I've been saying this for a year and a half now. And Carey said it just the other day. He's got a no-trade clause. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do.
I sure wish people would listen to that.
They don't.
Stop asking us when he's going to get traded.
Like, I think here's what happened in St. Louis, or just Blues fans in general, or some hockey people. They've watched Doug Armstrong bulldog through Brandon Saad, Texier, Matthew Joseph, and they think, well, he can do the same thing to Jordan Kyrou. Those guys were all on expiring contracts.
Yeah.
You're not doing it with a guy who's 4 years left at $8.2 million. What are you going to waive him? Okay. Someone will pick him up, and then you'll lose him for nothing. Well, that's it. You got him off the books. And you've also lost a guy that almost scored 40 goals for several years. He didn't do it last year, but nobody really lit it up last year. So losing a guy for nothing is just, it's not in the equation. Not losing that guy for nothing.
From 636, does the Avalanche being such a juggernaut lead the Blues to continue to acquire assets until they can get their own generational talents like the Wild and Avalanche have?
No, listen, you can't let other teams dictate how you run your organization. I think Army and Steiner have a plan. They've talked about a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan, and you have to stick to that. The moment you start chasing other teams that have a certain element of player or style of play or whatever, you're no longer actually in your own blueprint at that point. Now you don't have one. Now you're just chasing. So this year's Colorado. What if next year it's another team? Now what do? You change, you pivot, and let's follow what they're doing. And then you end up being a team like Buffalo for many years who just couldn't figure out what the hell they were. They didn't know what direction they were going in. It just doesn't work. I think you have to stick to what you believe in. And when your team is really close to being an impact team, you look to go add that player, whoever that player is. In 2019, it was adding Ryan O'Reilly, David Perron, Tyler Bozak in the offseason. And that kind of got you through. That got you your Stanley Cup. Same recipe, I think, moving forward here for the Blues.
From the 636, how realistic is it the Blues are able to make a big trade with their picks?
I think it's definitely realistic. It's going to be what they want to acquire. Obviously, the hot topic today is, whether they would package up all their picks and whatnot to try to jump up to number 2. I think anything's in play. I really do. I think that players, picks, everything is in play for the Blues to try and improve this offseason. And if it's to move up in the draft, then they'll try to find a way to do that. Now, you got to remember, you have to have a willing dance partner on all of these things, too. You can't just be, a team that's wanting to do something without a partner, because it doesn't work that way. So for Army and Steiner, the key is going to be to target teams strategically that either want your draft picks or that want a certain type of roster player that you're willing to part with.
From the 636, does Braden Shen go into the Blues Hall of Fame?
Wow. It's a great question. I would, but I'd have to see, I'd have to look at his numbers as to what precedent is ahead of him. Like Alex Steen got in there, but Steiner had really good numbers as well as longevity and a Stanley Cup, and he's going to be general manager now. And when you put Tkachuk and Hull and all those other guys, Fedorko, like Schenner's not close to those numbers. We'll see. Blues captain, hoisted a Stanley Cup, but then you'd have to say to yourself, okay, I don't know. It'll be tough. Mm-hmm. It'll be tough. I mean, does he eventually get there? Maybe.
How many people do you think from that Cup-winning team will be a Blues Hall of Famer?
Alex Pietrangelo, Jordan Binnington, Ryan O'Reilly, if they decide to do something like that.
Mm-hmm. I would assume Colton Parayko, too. He's getting up there in games played.
Colton Parayko. Sentimentally, you think someone like David Perron, but he's played on so many different teams. It's pretty tough to maybe isolate it to just his Blues tenure. I would say that's probably it. Mm-hmm. From the maybe Jay Bouwmeester, if you go down the line, because he's got the Stanley Cup, he's got a gold medal in Olympics, World Championship gold, World Junior gold medal. Like, he's a very accomplished player overall. The number of games he played too. So maybe.
What about statues or
I think Jordan Binnington
numbers?
Is the only one that could get a statue moving forward.
And retired number?
Yeah. I think Alex Pietrangelo is in the discussion. Maybe not for a statue, but for his number being retired.
We have a few people texting in. One particular player who just watched his team go down 2-0 last night as the Wild lost to the Colorado Avalanche. But what about Vladimir Tarasenko?
For what?
Blues Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but for what? Like, where does he rank? Like, he only scored 80 points plus one time in his career with the Blues. Like, I'd have to look at the list of where he ranks all time, but there's other players that have better numbers than Tarasenko. So maybe, though.
I can't think of the 2010 St. Louis Blues without thinking of Vladimir Tarasenko.
You're right. And, you know, that I don't disagree. For that era of Blues hockey, I would have to change my mind and say that he's probably a stronger possibility than not because he was the marquee name for a while for the Blues. I think maybe eventually it gets there. And I'm okay with it.
What do you guys think? Do you think putting too many people into, a Hall of Fame, not the Hockey Hall of Fame or Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, but like a certain team's Hall of Fame, does that sort of take away from its importance?
I think on the surface, yes, because if it's just like anybody can get in type deal, then yeah, it starts to feel like whoever's, it starts to feel like it's taking on less importance. But I also have to believe and trust in the people that are honoring those players or those individuals, and they know what the impact was of that player or that announcer or that scout or whatever. So I'll say no. On the surface, yeah. Generic wise, yeah. But again, I think that the people that induct those players into the Blues Hall of Fame or Cardinals Hall of Fame know what they're doing.
I do think this, though, too. Hear me out. The Hockey Hall of Fame, the Baseball Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame, like that is a process. You've got the committee, you've got and I get it because it's the Hall of Fame for that sport. For each team's Hall of Fame, quite honestly, I'm up for whoever almost because not like 10, 20 guys every year.
Yeah.
But why not celebrate some of your favorite players or your best players of this? Like, are we going to split hairs over, he's 100 goals less than so-and-so, I don't know.
Right.
But he was a fan favorite. He did a lot in the community. And it gives us a chance to remember said player, celebrate that player in a moment.
Right.
What is it like on the grand scheme of things? There's importance to it, obviously, and you want to have a certain standard. You're not just letting anybody in.
Yeah.
But if you have a group of 5 or 10 or 15 players historically that are all in and around the same,
right?
Well, what does it matter? Like, celebrate the players, man.
Yeah, like David Freese. You tell me that David Freese.
He knows. That's why he turned it down.
Exactly.
I would have said. I wish he would have kept it.
He shouldn't have turned it down.
Yeah,
you can't think of that team without thinking of David Freese.
Like Albert Pujols over his career in a St. Louis Cardinals uniform. Obviously, any numbers that he put up trumped whatever David Freese did. But in terms of impact for the franchise, David Freese is on the Mount Rushmore of impact for the Cardinals. And the fans know it. So,
and then you look at
right,
Fastlane U Phil brings up a great name, who really would not belong there. But I don't think anybody would push back on Pat Maroon one day going into the Blues Hall of Fame.
I was thinking about him too.
Agreed.
Local boy, didn't have a great year, scored one of the biggest goals in franchise history.
You're damn right he did.
And that's about it. Won a cup.
And gave one of the greatest lines that you will ever hear.
I agree.
You guys are fast-laned.
Bleeped.
I also wonder if his success with Tampa, how that carried over, just showed that much more how important he was to the Blues locker room.
I think, but I think that you're to the lore of him being the locker room guy, getting up all half blasted or fully blasted. I'm the hometown hero, baby.
And I believe he's spoken about it, but he didn't think he was going to be on the team at like halfway through the season.
No, it's well known.
Yeah.
He was about to be put on waivers, I believe. And something happened. There was an injury, and then there's a coaching change. And then before you know it, he was a huge part of the turnaround.
Yep.
which is awesome. I'm happy for him.
100%. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Brad Thompson will join us next from the ballpark as the Cardinals fall to the Brewers today. They lose 6-2. We'll break it down next with Brad Thompson here on 101 ESPN. Hey, if your windows are drafty, foggy, or just plain hard to open, your home's trying to tell you something, and it's time to call my friends at Mosby Building Arts. It might be time to replace those windows, might be time to upgrade the efficiency of your home, and the good news is that Mosby's May Freebies event makes it easy to do so. So you purchase new windows for your home and get a complimentary garage door, which will also upgrade the look, feel, and efficiency of your home. Not to mention the fact that you'll upgrade the curb appeal too. Or you could choose 5% off your project. So again, purchase new windows for your home throughout the month of May and get a complimentary garage door, or choose 5% off your project. It's a simple way to boost comfort and curb appeal at the same time, and it's all courtesy of Mosby Building Arts. They are the right remodeling company. People are all in-house. They do a tremendous job of making sure that they take care of every single issue that you might be dealing with, whether it's windows or bathrooms or family rooms, or maybe just, you want to upgrade the basement and make sure it's completely finished. Mosby does it all. Visit callmosby.com or call 314-909-1800. Again, 314-909-1800. Tell them Stalter told you to call. Offer ends May 31st, 2026. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
We're talking everything Redbirds with Cardinals TV analyst Brad Thompson on 101 ESPN. BT is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, the ultimate home run for wings and wins.
It's a Fast Line on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We're talking to our guy, Brad Thompson, 2006 World Series champion, alongside Chip Carey on the Cardinals TV network. Called the game today between the Brewers and the Cardinals. Cardinals fall today 6-2.
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing good. I mean, the Cardinals have been on a roll lately, so hard to complain about, one game. But if we were going to dive into it today, BT, Andre Pallante threw 104 pitches in 6 innings, allowed 5 runs, all of them earned. 4 of them came in the first inning. What was different about Pallante's outing today compared to his previous outings?
Yeah, mainly it was the first inning, right? Like it looked like one of those that was going to be a crazy fast outing for Andre. He had the first 2 batters out in 6 pitches, and then everything else happened in that inning, and it ended up taking 30 pitches overall to get through that first frame. Actually amazing that he was able to get through 6 innings in this ball game. He settled in really well, but ended up, running into the big 3-run home run, middle in there on Vaughn in the first inning. And then the offense just couldn't get anything going against Sproat for 4 innings, and then that bullpen of the Brewers. So, look, I think that Andre Pallante comes down to a big miss in the one with Vaughn. He was not trying to go middle in right there. But at the end of the day, you're going to look at the line, and he ends up giving up 5. I thought he threw the ball a lot better than that. The thing that really stood out in this ball game, and this wasn't just against Pallante, but certainly against him, is how relentless this Brewers team is with 2 strikes. They foul off everything. It's maddening. I want to say that he had 20-something, I think 21 foul balls against him, and a lot of those happen to be with 2 strikes. They just do not go away quietly.
BT, it seems like Andre Pallante, just looking over some things here, last year, too, when he had some of his struggles was early in the game. Is there something different that he does in certain games that just gets the best of him, or is it just coincidence?
No, I think that's a trend, and he talked about it last year, and he really talked about changing his preparation, kind of changing his bullpen, the focus in what he does, before he goes out to the mound, right? Really going and kind of trying to just game plan in his head and then in his bullpen that first inning, so he mentally does it. And the first inning has been better for him. There are a lot of guys like that, though. Remember, Carlos Martinez was one of those guys. It seemed like that first inning, if the opposition got to him, that was going to be the day. If they didn't, he would end up rolling. You just kind of see that every once in a while. So I think it's a trend that he was aware of, obviously, and is something that has happened to him in the past. I think he's done a better job of that, being ready for that first inning, being able to, not even being ready, that's probably the wrong term, but being able to execute the game plan in the first inning and be sharp in the first inning. But it is one, Jamie, it's funny, when you go look at a lot of starters, there's a lot of them that first inning, that settling in inning is a struggle, especially with all the data and all the information's there. Teams know your trends. They know what you like with 2 strikes. They know what direction, what side of the plate you're going to be on a lot of times. And when you miss, they're ready for it. So early in the game, oftentimes starters aren't as sharp, and the opposition can take advantage.
BT, we know about Mason Wynn's Gold Glove defense and how good he is on the defensive side. He was 0 for today, but he was going to the game batting .275. What are you seeing from him offensively that is showing you that he's really picked his game up, and how high is his ceiling on the offensive side?
Yeah, I think the ceiling is really high. Keys for Mason Wynn offensively is really simplifying things. I think when Mason gets into trouble, and you're absolutely right, especially since going back to Houston, getting that home cooking, the numbers have been really one of the biggest things for him is just to not get pull happy. And when he's at his best, he is going the other way. He is letting the ball travel. We saw this in game 1 of the series, that he stayed on one, hit a rocket through the right side for an RBI single. That's where the mindset should be early on, because you'll see sometimes on pitches middle away for him, that back foot kind of kicks out on him, and anything hit to the right side, oftentimes isn't with authority. When he's really focusing on that line drive stroke, he's going to be at his best. Then when you talk about the ceiling, to me, that's where things really open up. Because when you start driving the ball to right field, that's when the other teams really try to mix it up. They try to get in your kitchen, try to throw the fastball in, and that's when some of that power is going to be unlocked. So I really believe that there is a high ceiling for him. It doesn't have to be home runs. I think he can be a double machine, but there is a lot there for Mason Wynn that really lengthens out your lineup a lot when he's hitting the ball the way that he has the last couple of weeks.
Brad Thompson joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Brad, you could speak to this much more than we can, but we had a discussion, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, about the young players and who deserves credit for kind of their development, their maturation. Obviously, most of it's with the players, but when it comes to Brant Brown, you can provide more of a behind-the-scenes look at the advantages or benefits of having Brant Brown as the hitting coach. What can you tell us about him and the impact that he has made on this lineup?
Yeah, Brant Brown is absolutely a fantastic one to talk about, but I know if you ask Brant the same thing, he would talk about his entire team, right? It's him, it's Brandon Allen, it's Casey Chenoweth, it's all these guys behind the scenes. There's a lot that goes into it. We had the great ability, though. It was game 2 against the Mariners. We had talked to Brant in spring training, and we were just talking about meetings and talking about all of the stuff that they do in the preparation. And he was like, hey, you guys should come into one of our meetings. Like, you should get a feel for what it is. So we're on our flight back from, I forget where we're coming back from, maybe Miami, before that series. And he said, hey, would you want to come sit in on a hitters meeting? And Chip and I were like, absolutely. We would love to sit in on a hitters meeting. So we got to see actually exactly how they prepare for it and all of the video and all of the tendencies and the talking points, and then be able to see it come to fruition. It was against Brian Wu that day where they ended up just clocking him, hitting home runs left and right. But what he does is he does a good job, and the rest of the hitting team does, of individualizing plans for everybody and making sure everybody knows that they have a voice. It was so fun to kind of see in the room. Like, he would ask, hey, Burley, what are you doing to this guy? Churchy, what are you doing? What are your thoughts here? What are the adjustments second time around? Like, they're thinking through a little bit of everything, and then these young guys are taking that game plan and truly sticking with it. And you guys know how hard that is. Like, you have a plan, but maybe you go out for your first at-bat and it doesn't work. Sometimes you just revert back to what you think might be the plan of, see it, hit it. It's like the big leagues are way past see it, hit it right now. Like, there's so much data, so much information, so much stuff at this level. You better have a plan. And I think that Brant Brown and B.A. and Casey Chenoweth have done such a good job of pouring into these players that they trusted, that they trust the process. And I think you're seeing the results come out.
BT, Ivan Herrera he's had a great season at the plate as far as recognizing the strike zone, whether he's been behind the dish challenging calls or whether he's been in the batter's box. I believe he leads the majors in walks, certainly the Cardinals in walks. What is it that you're seeing from him, apart from just having a good eye? Is there something that's going on where the way pitchers are, their approach to pitching to Herrera, where he's picked up on something where he's laying off pitches?
Yeah, I think it's a few things. One, it's the catcher's eye. We talk about that all the time. It's like, man, catchers should be really good hitters. They're the ones seeing this. They should know their zone really well. But we also know the rigors of a catcher, right? The beatings that they take behind the plate. So it's rare to have a very, a big, good, great hitting catcher like Herrera is. But the eye has been there, whether it's behind the plate or at it. He just knows his zone really well, and it's something that he has really honed in on it and focused on. And then so when you're able to lay off those borderline pitches, that's when you can really focus in on doing your damage. So a lot of this still also comes back to what we were just talking about with the game planning, right? You know how people are going to attack you, so don't let them beat you with that other stuff. If it's not your game plan, don't offer. He's done a really good job with that. And then with him doing damage, he's healthy now, right? Like, he's a perfect fit when you look at the two-hole in the lineup. He's a guy that will take his walks. He can get on base at a crazy high clip. He's also been hit by a bunch of pitches. I'm sure he doesn't love that. But then he can do some damage, right? So he's just got that perfect skill set to hit second. But the patience is something that you've seen grow for him. And instead of, what impressed me early in the season, you mentioned, Jamie, all the walks that he took. I was impressed that he would take those instead of trying to expand and do something, because offensive numbers, talking about, just racking up the hits and the power numbers. Those weren't there early, but he never got out of that game plan of, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm going to attack. And now he's finally, that patience and now the power are coming together.
BT, I was watching the broadcast earlier, and I may have a bone to pick with you or Chip.
Oh, no.
Wow.
I don't know who it was.
What is this about?
You all were talking about Jose Fermin and how he enjoyed the nickname, the Ferminator. And one of you all said, yeah, he's the secret weapon. And I have a bone to pick because there's only one secret weapon that plays middle infield and can play multiple positions in Cardinal history. I just wanted to know, was it you or was it Chip that mentioned secret weapon when you were talking about the Ferminator?
Wow.
Carey, I think you know better. I think you know better. Cheo Jose Akendo is the secret weapon. Okay. All right, we know that, and he didn't use it as a nickname.
Okay,
and it was in homage to how good he has been off the bench and where you put him in. But no, that was not me, and I'm not trying to put it on somebody else. It was absolutely Chip. It was Chip who did it.
All right. Well, let him know. We appreciate you all.
I thought that you were going to. I thought you were going to yell at me for my take on black licorice because I'm anti. I don't think it tastes good.
I think it's horrible.
Okay,
yeah, I'm with
you. Have
you.
good taste. I think it's generational. I think that maybe there is a certain line or a certain date on the calendar that you like black licorice.
I think you should never like black licorice. In any date.
What about the rest of the crew? Is anybody in on black licorice?
I actually don't mind it.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it at all. It's not like I'm seeking it out, but if it's there, yeah.
But if it's nice and fresh,
you might as well choose shoelaces.
Not terrible.
I think red licorice is actually black licorice. They just dye it red.
It's not.
Just
it's
saying.
Actually not.
That is incorrect.
Goggle it. Incorrect. Just goggle it. All right. Marshy?
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Okay, all right, fine. Okay, listen.
I'm out.
You're
Brad's
out on black licorice.
All right, we gotta go with Brad.
Hey, Jamie. Black licorice for you and I, man.
Now, I like candy corn. A lot of people are out on that.
I like candy corn. I got no problem with candy corn.
Candy corn's fine.
You know what? I'm out on candy corn as well. And you can take those Cadbury eggs and put them somewhere, too.
Whoa,
wow, Brad.
Whoa, Cadbury
Do you have any
eggs.
fun at all, Brad?
Okay, so now I'm completely intrigued here, Brad.
Next thing you're going to tell me you don't like circus peanuts.
Don't even get me started on Peeps either.
Oh, those are gross too.
There goes all our endorsements.
What candy? The Peeps people are going to be pissed. What candy do you like then?
No, I like all your traditional
Snickers.
I'm more of a I'm in on those.
Mm-hmm.
As I get older, the sophisticated palate of mine, I'm digging dark chocolate, like sea salt, any sea salted caramel. Just put that in my mouth. I'm in. But don't cut that audio. And use that whenever you want it.
Milky Way. Have you ever had the Milky Way Dark?
Yes, very good.
Those are incredible. I'm all in on that.
Yeah, solid.
All right, Brad. Well, hey, listen, I think we go out on a high note. So we appreciate you, buddy.
Good.
We love you. And we'll talk to you again next week.
All right. I miss you guys. Talk to you next week.
All right, buddy. See ya.
BT.
That's Brad Thompson.
Wow.
Just kind of dishing on all the things he doesn't like. Cadbury eggs, though.
You guys like black licorice?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, where do I start?
Clearly we can start there.
Carey, we don't.
That's some trauma you got going on.
We don't discriminate.
I'm discriminating against black licorice.
Well, we don't,
Whether it's
okay?
red licorice
I am.
or black licorice.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're just,
I view it the same.
It ain't the same.
Once Anthony gets his hands on it, he loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Yeah.
That's gross. Good luck with that, man.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm going to bring you all some black licorice, and I want to.
that's fine, yeah.
Bringing his red
I'll
meat for
enjoy
a
it.
good time.
Don't waste your money on that, Carey.
A lot of hate here. A lot of hate. Gotta let it out.
If you're hating your heart, let it out.
Yep. All right. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Where did my rundown go?
I think this is a perfect segue.
I found it. I found
Anthony.
it. What's your segue, Marsh? Talking
our
about
next
the Blues.
No.
Talking about the Blues, whether or not they're going to move up spots in the NHL draft.
No, prove me wrong, Anthony.
No, let's do the Blues thing. That's next on 101 ESPN. CD went to Mentality yesterday, and if for those that don't know, Mentality is a fantastic spot. They actually have two different locations. One in Chesterfield. CD, I know you often go to the one in Chesterfield. Yep. I usually go to one in South County. They're both run by the same fantastic people, but they help us guys make sure that if we are low on testosterone, that they concentrate on the free testosterone range and, they get it up over time, right? Well, when it comes to the benefits for you, you're talking about increased energy, sustained energy, not that like fake kind where, you feel fine after an energy drink and then all of a sudden you got that crash. Yeah. No, the ability to get inside the gym and feel great about your workouts. You're not snapping at the kids or your significant other. There are aspects of Mentality that I love, and I love the fact that you can change your program too based on where you're at.
Definitely. And if you're a guy that is, just kind of dragging, you're always tired, you're fatigued, you have a cup of coffee, it doesn't kick in like it used to, you might be suffering from low testosterone, and Mentality can help you. Go in there, talk to them, see how they can get you on the right track. Anthony has, I have. They've done a fantastic job of helping us put away the coffee and just continue to live because the programs do such a great job.
Yeah, no doubt about it. In fact, 94% of men report renewed energy and focus within 60 days. So now you know. CD and I are telling you. So when it comes to all the trendy stuff, put that away. There's no solution of the month type thing. Mentality is all about real medicine. And while they can't make you feel 25 again, or actually they can't turn you 25 again, you can actually feel like you're 25 again. Schedule your appointment with Mentality today at lowtusa.com. Again, lowtusa.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. We just wrapped up our conversation with Brad Thompson. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. The Cardinals lose to the Brewers today by a final score of 6-2. They'll head to San Diego to take on the Padres for a 4-game slate. Matthew Liberatore will be on the mound tomorrow for the Cardinals, and first pitch is at 9:10. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always open to listening to what's out there, and if people have ideas or thoughts, then I'll listen, and we'll kind of go from there.
So that was Mike Greer via the Sharks YouTube page on listening to offers for that second overall pick, because the Sharks have the second overall pick. The Toronto Maple Leafs were given the first overall pick in the draft lottery.
Wrong word.
No, I think I said it right.
They earned it. The balls popped up.
They popped what? Dropped?
Up. No, it popped up.
Oh.
That's the sound it made.
Let me try again, CD. The Toronto Maple Leafs, because they're a huge media market and have stunk for a long time, kind of the Yankees of the NHL, were handed the first overall pick in the NHL Draft lottery.
Still worded the same way you just worded it before.
I don't think he's wrong.
No, but allegedly. We don't know that.
No, it wasn't allegedly. It happened right in front of our eyes.
The way he worded it, they did receive the first overall pick.
I guess I'm not hearing
how you worded it can leave some room for.
Well, if I hand you something, you're receiving it.
True.
So what's the difference?
True. But how he's wording it. Yeah, Your Honor, he's right. I won't argue with that. But the way he's wording it, it can be left for some uncertainty. If
do you want me to try again?
Try one more time, man.
I'll just try it one more time. Just like in 2023 when the Blackhawks were gifted Connor Bedard, the Maple Leafs were also gifted Gavin McKenna last night when the NHL rigged the draft lottery.
I don't think you've gotten better. You might have gotten worse.
I think he's right to the point, though.
I think he's further away from where he started.
CD, one thing that we don't do enough of is go back and listen to the show and just kind of see where we can get better, kind of like film sessions, audio sessions, if you will.
True.
And what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll listen to that.
Air checks.
Air checks. Yeah, I'll go back and I'll air check it. I'll try to have an open mind with the three options that I gave you and see if I could have improved.
The first one.
The first one was the best one now that we've heard all three.
All right.
See?
I should have left it alone.
You should have let it sleep, man.
My bad.
Should let it sleep.
How does Army feel about picks 11 and 16? Or 15?
Yeah, we're excited. Obviously, you'd like to move up, but you're realistic on the odds that you have going into it. So we've prepared... where we were at the end of the season, we scouted those top players pretty well because we weren't sure where we were going to finish. So we now have the ability with solid information to use those picks to move up if we wish to make those selections. So we have having the 3 first rounders, the 2 in that area of 11 and 15, and the later one will give us some options to move around in. And we have a good group of prospects and players that if we need to dip into that pool to get better, we can do that also. So it'll be an interesting 6 weeks for sure.
So what would you do in this situation? There's a lot of different options that we've discussed, but I think in general, if we're just going to speak that way, I would be looking to package up picks and potentially some, maybe a play or two, because you put this, Jamie, you put that out there earlier, like, hey, you may have to give up a player like Jake Neighbors, depending on how far you go up in the draft. I would be kicking the tires on something like that.
You pick up the phone, you call Mike Greer from the San Jose Sharks, and you say, hey, look, we're in a situation where we'd really like to move up. What are you thinking? And kind of go from there. I mean, the ask might be off the charts where you're like, I just can't do that.
Yeah.
Or it might be something you can stomach, and you make that move, and you kind of shock the draft a little bit, and you go up and you get a really good player. Nobody's talking about the Malhotra kid. He's a good player as well. Like there's the top 4 picks available are difference makers if you can get into the top 4. So although we're isolating the San Jose Sharks, what if you can weasel into the top 4 somewhere with the 3rd or the 4th pick, and you're still getting a really good player at that point, a higher percentage of being a really good player than if you stay at the current picks that you have right now. Listen, it takes 2 to tango. And if somebody's willing to make a trade with you, then great. If someone's willing to make a fair trade with you, even better. But you got to watch out for the teams that know you're looking a certain way. And, Army's very good at playing the poker game when it comes to these things. And I don't expect him to be overzealous when it comes to picking up that 2nd or 3rd pick. And, somebody else might swoop in and make a mistake and offer too much for that. But this is the one year in a long time that if the Blues want to do something, whether it's move up in the draft, go acquire a player, do something unique, they have the assets. That's whether it's roster players, minor league players, or draft capital, they have the assets to do something if the situation presents itself and if it's the right one.
Carey, what are you doing with these picks?
I mean, if I can move up and get a player that is, I think Jamie talked about how many players you already have in the pipeline and just drafting more players. I don't know how much that helps you when you got to have all those guys trying to find room on the ice at different levels. If you can get an impact player now and, move a player or two, I think you go for it. I think you do whatever needs to be done. Jamie, the question I was going to ask you, because we talk about potential forwards being moved. If it was a defenseman, are you as apt to do that, or are you more reluctant because you don't want to mess up the blue line because of how well they've played together this past year?
Yeah, I'd be a little reluctant. So people bring up Colton Parayko, but that's a big void. And Adam Jiricek is in Springfield. He did not play last night, by the way. Hats off to Steve Ott. Springfield Thunderbirds with the 2nd win. So they're up 2-1 now against the Providence Bruins.
We'll have the game for you tomorrow night.
Hopefully the closing game.
Maybe.
That'd be sweet. But, I don't think Jiricek is ready to step in and play 22 to 25 minutes a night in the NHL in the top 4 defenseman role. I don't think that Logan Mailloux is ready for that, although he closed out the season playing 20 minutes plus. I don't think that's where he fits just yet as a top pair defenseman. So I would be reluctant to move anything from my defensive core at this point.
There you go. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Let's do some Prove Me Wrong now. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you have a Prove Me Wrong statement, something that you want us to have to prove wrong in the eyes of the judge, Andrew Marsh, send in those statements next. And by the way, if you want to listen to the entirety of that Doug Armstrong interview, that was done by BK and Ferraro, you can go to 101ESPN.com or the 101 ESPN mobile app, Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. All the podcasts brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Prove Me Wrong next on 101 ESPN.
Oh, all those graduation parties that are coming up and the holiday barbecues. Why not get yourself some Zwickle Light? Unbelievable beer, especially you get the bottles, you put them on ice. It tastes so good. It's a crisp, clean, refreshing light beer, and it's not like some of the other light beers out on the market that taste a little bit like water. No, Zwickle Light tastes like beer. Only 95 calories, 3.7 carbs. It's just an awesome beer available out there by my friends at Urban Chestnut, who, by the way, they're local. They're right here in St. Louis doing great things. And they've got the original Zwickel as well, just great lager available. And they've got the new Squirrel Works. It's a hazy IPA that people are loving right now. It's slowly getting out there, looking to speed up the process, of course. But check it out. Look for Squirrel Works at your local stores, as well as Zwickel Light. For any other information about events coming up or any of the beers that I've talked about, visit urbanchestnut.com. Again, that's urbanchestnut.com. Keep it light and keep it local.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Time for Prove Me Wrong. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Our judge is in the house, Andrew Marsh. This is where you can text into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646 with a Prove Me Wrong statement. And it's up to us to prove you wrong in the eyes of the judge. Judge, take it away.
All right, from the 618, prove me wrong. With 24 teams getting into the college football playoff, the committee needs to be abandoned and a playoff formula needs to be established.
Well, I think the formula is already established. I don't think you need to ban anyone. The committee did a fantastic job last year, did they not?
Yes, sir.
Bringing in a team in Miami that everyone said, why are they here? Who invited them? They didn't even win their own conference. You know what they did? They went and made it to the national championship game when everyone, including Jamie Rivers, said they couldn't do it. And so they did a fantastic job. The committee did. You don't just dismiss those men and women and the hard work that they do. They have value, and they are there for a reason to make sure that things don't go awry. And things would have went haywire had Miami not been in the playoffs. And then you know who did it? The committee did it all on their own. They didn't listen to Jamie and people like him. They said, the heck with those naysayers. We're going to put Miami in despite what all of you say. And Miami had a great run till they ran into Big Ten's finest. Indiana Hoosiers.
That was tough. You said they did a great job. Alabama was in that mix, but you hated Alabama. But I'll give it to you.
Carey hates everything.
Miami. That's the big.
Miami did it. Yeah, Miami.
Miami was the
I didn't even think about Alabama. All right, thinks about losers.
Ouch.
Tommy Two Guns, prove me wrong. Andre Palante needs to be removed from the starting rotation.
What are you talking about? Everybody, every time he has one bad outing, they want to remove him from the rotation, want to send him down, want to option him, DFA him. He's been one of your most consistent pitchers this year. McGreevy probably number one. Andre Palante, I think for weeks now, we kept acting surprised as to how consistent he's been, how good he's pitched. He's been the one guy that we're like, well, you know what you're getting with Andre Palante. Yet he has one inning, not even a bad game, one bad inning. Mm-hmm. And here we are. He should be removed from the rotation. Yet we gave Dustin May 3 bad starts in a row to start the season. Not just bad, like really bad starts. Kyle Leahy, how many question marks surrounding that guy?
Ton.
Matthew Liberatore, well, he's under the microscope because we don't know what he's going to do. And here, good old Andre Palante just been consistent. And he has one bad inning. And here we are shifting him out of the rotation. No, go fast lane yourself. No chance.
Well done, Jamie. Well done.
Respectfully, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From the 314, the Cardinals should deliberately not sign J.J. Weatherholt to an extension in hopes the next CBA has a salary cap and could end up saving you money on a potential future extension.
Well, the arbitration process is in place so that you do not have to sign J.J. Weatherholt, who is already 23 years old, to a contract extension. Normally, those deals are saved for players that come up even earlier than what J.J. Weatherholt has done. You know, guys that are 20 years old, 21 years old, and you're buying out a lot of the multiple free agency years. In the case of J.J. Weatherholt, I don't think you need to do that. I think you let the process play out and realize that, by the time he does become a free agent, he's going to be a little bit older when he first hits the open market. And again, negating a lot of the benefit that teams have when you sign a young player this early.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome, Anthony. You're welcome. From 314, Anthony Rogers, geez. Aaron Rodgers is a better QB option for the Steelers this season over the two unproven options, meaning Howard and Aller. We all know Rudolph will not be considered for this race. Prove me wrong.
I mean, is Aaron Rodgers on a team? So how can he be a better option when he's not on a team? The two options that are better are the guys that are in actual black and gold, participating in OTAs and mini camps and rookie camps. Those guys are better options because why? They actually signed on the dotted line, Anthony. They are on the team. You can't have a better option when the guy ain't even there. We don't know when he's coming back. I don't know where Aaron is. No one knows where Aaron is right now. Aaron might not know where Aaron is right now. So no way that he's a better option than these two young lads that we got from the Big Ten playing football for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Penn State, Ohio State, good ball there, man. Oh, come on.
I don't know.
That's tough.
I've never seen them play in the NFL.
That's tough.
Stuff is right.
Stuff.
Yeah.
We got something good going.
Yeah. Oh, well. Maybe set up for failure on that one, CD.
Probably.
All right. We got the Gauntlet up next on 101 ESPN.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
403, your time check, brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the phone lines. We've got Blakely on the line. What's up, Blakely?
How's it going, fellas?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you joining us today. Thanks for playing. Would you like to take on Marsh, Carey, Jamie, or me in round 1?
I want to take on Marsh. He tried to get me on yesterday. My spam blocker forwarded his calls about 5 times, and he said, let me on today if he had a chance to beat me down. So.
Wow, okay. All right. So
I don't remember saying that last part, but.
I bet you were thinking it. All right. But, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so Blakely, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel, then we'll kick him out of here.
All right, Marsh, spin that wheel.
All right, wheel has been spun. Marsh will hand over the launch codes and then get out of here. Blakely, were you hoping for a certain category today?
Anything will do. Anything will do.
Okay, I like your attitude.
Anything will do, because it is going to be just about anything. It's random.
How do you feel about random?
I like it.
Okay. All right. Well, Blakely, you're going to get 4 random questions. Each one is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. Question number 1. Identify the NASCAR driver who, in the year 2000, had full season sponsorship with McDonald's for $6.5 million.
I'm going straight to the options.
Tony Stewart, Bill Elliott, or Ricky Rudd?
I'm going to go with Bill Elliott, B, final answer.
All right, question 2. An Asian elephant has one small projection at the end of the trunk, which aids with precision. What is it called?
Some easy ones today. Okay, I'll take the options for that.
All right, is it a finger, a nose, a rotunda?
I've never heard of rotunda. I'll go C, final answer.
Okay.
I didn't see. Can you tell us? I didn't hear his answer.
He said a rotunda.
A rotunda?
Yeah.
Okay.
C, rotunda.
Thank you. Thanks for listening, Anthony. Jamie doesn't pay attention.
I stay right at you, Carey.
You don't listen to me at all. Question number 3. Can you tell us the 5th and final emperor of the Julio Claudian dynasty? He ruled Rome from AD 54 until his death 14 years later.
14 years later. I'll just take a shot in the dark and say Alexander the Great. Final answer.
All right. Final question for you, Blakely. Nicknamed the Shark, this sports agent has represented top-flight NFL clients like Terrell Owens, Edgerrin James, and Javon Walker. So what sports agent is referred to as the Shark?
I'll take the options on that.
Lee Steinberg, Tom Condon, or Drew Rosenhaus?
I'll go A, Lee Steinberg. Final answer.
All right. Let's bring back Marsh from the Cone of Silence. Blakely, how you feeling?
Yeah, not great. Let's see if Marsh can do any better, though.
All right. Yeah, you never know. All right, Marsh is going to make his way back in from the Cone of Silence right now. He's going to plug in his headphones here in a second. And he's going to be ready to rock. Marsh, how was the Cone of Silence?
Oh, it was good. I was watching a video on X of Buffalo Sabre fans deciding which logo they like best. The original, the goat head logo, or the slug logo. Looks like, I didn't finish the video, but it looks like a lot of people like the goat head, which is the red and black jersey.
It's terrible.
I like that one as well.
That's terrible.
Which one do you like, Jamie?
I like the original. The big old buffalo, Tatanka.
Why would it be a goat?
Tatanka. Because it looks like a goat more than a buffalo. That's why they say they like that logo better.
They're buffaloes.
It reminds me of Dominic Hasek. Because he wore that black.
Well, he also wore the original one, too.
Listen, Jamie, I don't care.
Well, if you're going to use a player as
it
reference,
reminds me of Dominic Hasek.
I like the retro Blues jerseys, the red ones, because Gretzky wore that. That's the only jersey he wore here, so that would make sense.
When I think of Wayne Gretzky, I think of the Kings.
Oh, my goodness.
And you know why? Mike Keenan. That's why.
Okay.
That sounded personal.
I thought maybe you'd like that, the way I said that.
You know he doesn't like that.
Well, no, I blame. What I'm trying to say is,
thinks of Gretzky with the Kings and Mike Keenan.
I don't think of him as a Blue because of Mike Keenan. I think of him as a King.
I got you. Although we got him from the Kings, then he went to the Rangers.
Don't care. You ready, Marsh?
Yep.
Category's random.
Of course.
Pack a lunch.
Identify the NASCAR driver who, in the year 2000, had full season sponsorship with McDonald's for $6.5 million.
McDonald's.
Did you throw away your gauntlet?
No, I was just kidding.
Throw away that questions.
Just kidding.
We'll choose the options.
Your options are Tony Stewart, Bill Elliott, or Ricky Rudd.
I think Tony Stewart was Home Depot. Who were the other two?
Bill Elliott and Ricky Rudd.
Let's go Bill Elliott. Final answer.
Question 2.
Glad you got your questions.
Yep, right here. An Asian elephant has one small projection at the end of the trunk, which aids with precision. What is that called?
I have no clue. It's on the trunk?
It's a small projection at the end of the trunk.
Options.
Is it called a finger, a nose, a rotunda?
Let's go rotunda. Final answer.
A rotunda from down under.
Question number 3. Can you tell us the 5th and final emperor of the Julio Claudian dynasty? He ruled Rome from AD 54 until his death 14 years later.
That's Palpatine. No, I'll take the options.
Okay. Is it Nero, Claudius, or Caligula? Caligula. What the hell?
Caligula.
Caligula? Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Caligula.
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 Let's go with Nero. Final answer.
Final question, Marsh. Nicknamed the Shark, this sports agent has represented top-flight NFL clients like Terrell Owens, Edgerrin James, and Javon Walker.
Oh, man. Let's go with Tom Cruise. No, I'm kidding.
Sugar.
Options.
Lee Steinberg, Tom Condon, or Drew Rosenhaus?
Let's go Drew Rosenhaus. Final answer.
All right. Let's go over these. Blakely versus Marsh in random. Identify the NASCAR driver who, in the year 2000, had full season sponsorship with McDonald's for $6.5 million. You both went with Bill Elliott. Correct answer is
Bill Elliott.
And you both used the options. We get a 1-1 tie. You're right. Tony Stewart was Home Depot. And remember Ricky Rudd. What sponsorship was he tied to?
Lowe's.
Tied. You're right. An Asian elephant has one small projection at the end of the trunk, which aids with precision. What is it called? You both said a rotunda. Correct answer is
a finger.
Finger is the answer we're looking for. So we're all tied up 1-1. Can you tell us the 5th and final emperor of the Julio Claudian dynasty? He ruled Rome from AD 54 until his death 14 years later. Without the options, Blakely took a shot in the dark. He said Alexander the Great. Marsh listened to the options and went with Nero. Correct answer is
Nero.
Nero is correct. So we got a 2-1 lead for Andrew Marsh. Will it come down to this? Nicknamed the Shark, this sports agent has represented top-flight NFL clients like Terrell Owens, Edgerrin James, and Javon Walker. You both listened to the options. You wound up with different options, though. You went with Drew Rosenhaus. Marsh. Blakely went with Lee Steinberg. If it's Lee Steinberg, we've got a walk-off. If it's Tom Condon or Drew Rosenhaus, Marsh wins today. Correct answer is
Drew Rosenhaus.
Blakely.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Not today.
Sorry, Blakely. He did get you today by the final score of 3-1. Sorry, man.
No, congrats, Marsh. You took it to me. You said you would, and
okay. Good job, Blakely.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Love listening to you.
Well, thank you. We appreciate
so much. Thank you very much. Have a great
Blakely.
night, man.
See ya.
All right, bye.
All right. Good thing for Blakely. He is now you can throw it away, Jamie.
Yeah.
He is a great guy. That was confirmed because Marsh only beats great guys. Although recently, I don't know.
Blakely tried to be a bit of a heel at the start.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Yeah.
It wasn't in him.
No, wasn't him. He knew it too.
I'm surprised that final question wasn't a part of football category football. That was a football question.
It was an agent question.
An agent question.
Agent, yeah. Which would fall into the
Cody Banks.
Which would make it a very random question for football.
Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha.
Jamie's right on that. Yeah, 100%. Even if he doesn't believe it, he is right.
Did you guys know that? I don't even know what the question was. Something about emperors?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Julian Claudian or Julian.
Robert De Niro.
Julio Claudian.
I don't know a lot of that stuff.
I only went with Nero because it sounds like Neo. And he was cool.
He was. Yeah. Did some good things.
Well, it was a good guess.
Thanks.
Nice job, Marsh. All right. Well, Marsh's performance today in the Gauntlet was good. The Cardinals' performance today at Busch Stadium was crap. We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
From baseball to basketball, hockey, even golf, Circa Sports has got it all on their new app, and it's really easy to find it. Just go to the App Store or the Google Play Store. Look for the white Circa Sports logo. That is for the state of Missouri, and you are off and running. And it is so much fun right now watching on a nightly basis, whether it's the NHL playoffs or the NBA playoffs. Great games, tight games. Our guy Marshy picked the over last night. 4.4 seconds left, and it hit. So you just never know what's going to happen. That's why I choose Circa Sports, because they are the best in the business. Get the world's largest sports book right there in the palm of your hand. Great odds out there on a nightly basis. Great money line splits. And if you're feeling lucky, throw a little money down on one of those futures bets. All of that available at the world's largest sports book, which is Circa Sports. For more information, visit circasports.com. Again, that's circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. The Cardinals fall today 6-2 to the Milwaukee Brewers. Last night's game was postponed, so that'll be it for the current series between the two teams. Really it just today got off to a rough start and never improved. Andre Palante was really just the first inning because he did wind up throwing 6 innings and 104 pitches, but he gave up 4 runs in the first inning. Most of the damage was done by Andrew Vaughn, who homered, and that one plated 3 runs when the Brewers were already up 1-0. So Palante for the day, 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 3. The offense was... I mean, given how Brandon Sproat has pitched thus far, a little surprising that in 4 innings of work, he only allowed 1 hit and struck out 5. Cardinals did get 3 batters on, three batters on via the walk, and then 1 via a hit on Sprout, but he wasn't good coming in. Mm-hmm. And this Cardinals offense has been very good. So it was just one of those days at the ballpark, and the Cardinals fall 6-2.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think this was the first game that I can recall this year where you got that big of a cricket number put up in the first inning. Mm-hmm. And we saw that a lot last year, which I think is part of the reason why this team struggled so much last year. I don't know if your approach changes when you're down 3, 4, 5 runs after the first inning, but it felt like last year it did. This year they haven't had to deal with that, I don't think at all. But today was just one of those games. It got away from you. Like you said, it's 162 games. You're not going to win all of them. You just look at the series and you move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm. And the next one will be starting on Friday when they take on Thursday, San Diego Padres. So I got 4 games in San Diego. So they hit the road again, and they'll take on the Padres Thursday through Sunday. Liberatore will go in game 1, McGreevy, May, and then Kyle Leahy. This Padres team has been up and down to start the year. They're 21-14 overall, but they kind of got off to a bit of a rough start. Now have picked up the pace. If you look around the National League, things have started to kind of settle in. Mm-hmm. Remember, Miami and Washington were actually playing some pretty good ball. Well, both teams are now 4 games under 500. And while the Phillies are still scrambling to get to 500, they have picked up their play. They've won 3 in a row in 8 of their last 10. Otherwise, the Brewers are running away with things in the American League East. They're 26-11. If you go to the West, Dodgers are 23-14, Padres at 21-14, and then everybody else is either 500 or below in the National League West, including the Rockies and Giants. Giants are off to a horrific start. Remember, they hired the manager from college, Tony Vieto, and then Buster Posey's in charge there, and it's just been an absolute disaster out west. And in the National League Central, every team's competitive. Every team is at least 2 games above 500. So the National League Central was very good a year ago, and that play has continued again today.
The Cubs are starting to kind of separate themselves a little bit. They had I think they just swept the Reds, or they are 1 game away, I guess, from sweeping the Reds. They just swept the Diamondbacks as well, so they are kind of
won 7 in a row.
they're right. They're separating themselves, or trying to, in this division. And I think the Cardinals are doing a good job of, keeping up, trying to at best.
Are you guys surprised at all? We've talked about the offense for the Cardinals, how surprising that has been, but Cardinals find themselves in 2nd place, 21-15, with a -1 run differential. I find that weird. I mean, I know the pitching hasn't been great, and there's been some games where you're winning 9-6 and things like that, 11-8. It's just the Cubs. Only reason I ask that is because the Cubs are plus 44, and the Brewers, who are 4.5 games back from the Cubs, are plus 46.
That also plays into. Don't forget some of the Brewers' wins have been pretty egregious. So like their opening win was 14-2. Over the White Sox. Let me see if they got another.
But my point is, does that start to play
12-4.
Does that start to play into that narrative we heard the other day about, this is not sustainable. The way the Cardinals are pitching, and it's not sustainable.
So one of the indicators of how well you're actually playing, just one, would be your run differential. So to your point, Jamie, when people are starting to question whether or not what we're watching is sustainable, I think some people will start to point to the fact that their run differential, and coming into today, obviously it was plus because they're -4 today, but their run differential really wasn't matching their record. That would be an indication that what we're watching will probably, it's probably not sustainable. Like I said before, I don't care. I'm just enjoying the games. And as CD mentioned,
I'm going to continue doing that.
Yeah, and as CD mentioned, today was one of the rare times all season that the Cardinals weren't very competitive. Otherwise, it has been a fun ride.
Fun to watch, man. Good to watch.
Yep.
Good, clean fun.
Other games around Major League Baseball today. Carey's Dodgers beat the Astros 12-2. The Rays, who played very good ball, beat Mama River's Blue Jays 3-0. And as we mentioned before, the Brewers win 6-2 today over the Cardinals. Padres, that same Padres team that the Cardinals will face for a 4-game set starting tomorrow in San Diego. They're beating the Giants 3-1 right now in the bottom of the 7th. And the Angels are whipping the White Sox 5-1. That one's only in the bottom of the 4th. All right, we're going to do our Sports Six-Pack Part 1 coming up. So if you got any questions, send them in. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Again, you got any questions, send them in. Sports Six-Pack Part 1 next.
Londoff Chevrolet, the best in the business. So much going on at both locations. That's right, they've got 2 locations. The original in Florissant, Missouri, and the brand new Londoff Autoplex out in St. Peters. Check out both locations. They have tremendous deals going on right now. They've got a 2018 Corvette 2LT. Anthony can see you in that all day long. 5,500 miles, only 66,980. 2020 Silverado LT with leather, crew cab, 4x4, only $35,990. They always have great deals going on at Londoff Chevrolet. And let's not forget that they're also going to give you the most cash for your trade-in. Not some kind of bonus thing. No, they give you cash for your trade-in, and they have unbelievable customer service. And that's really what separates them at the end of the day is, yes, they've got great deals. Yes, they've got great vehicles, lots of inventory, but it's the customer service that keeps people coming back time and time again. It's what got the Rivers family. Myself, customer for over 25 years. My kids are all Londoff customers. My fiance's a Londoff customer, and we're not going anywhere else. So again, stop by either location. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in. They love hearing that. And to check out all the things I talked about, even more deals, check them out online at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals lose to the Brewers by a final score of 6-2 today. They'll go up against the San Diego Padres starting tomorrow with Matthew Liberatore on the mound. First pitch tomorrow from San Diego is at 9:10. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll answer your questions next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
Time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So you got a question, send it there, and you'll have an opportunity to have it answered. Marshy, fire away.
Question number 1.
All right, this is an interesting question from the 314. Do you think extending J.J. Weatherholt would disrupt the team chemistry where everyone is being paid roughly the same salary? Will the other players be happy for him or resentful? How about extending Weatherholt, Wynn, Herrera, Burleson, and Walker at the same time for team unity?
I imagine, CD, I mean, you played. I imagine that when a guy signs a contract, there's no jealousy there.
No.
I mean, I'm assuming you're happy for the other guy. Maybe there is some jealousy, but
no, you're really. I mean, you're happy for your teammate. I mean, I would tell people like we used to. I think one of the funnest or coolest things, and people probably think it's weird, but beginning of the season when everybody's getting their first paycheck, you would kind of go around and say, "I don't remember what you make." Whoo-wee, that's more than I made on this whole check. More than I'm gonna make all year. Mm-hmm. Like if a guy's making $20 million a year or $40 million a year, you're happy for those guys, especially a guy that signs a new contract and they get new money and it's their first time seeing their check.
Yeah.
Like, cause we got actual checks. We didn't get direct deposit. So, there's no jealousy there for players to be mad at someone for getting paid what they're worth. And then to the second part of your question, yeah, sure, pay everybody. It ain't my money. Pay them all at once. 8 years, so they can all be on the same timeline. 8 years, $300 million apiece. Who says no?
I'm not.
Who says Anthony?
300 apiece.
Who says no? You're saving money in the long run, I'm
probably
sure.
The DeWitts. They'd probably say no.
Nah, why would they say no? Why would they say no to signing everybody at the exact same time?
Because it's money.
Okay, maybe $300 million was a bit high.
Seems a bit high.
I was saying, we
250.
We could get Ohtani for that.
Yeah.
250. Yeah, but you're getting one player. We're talking about 5 or 6.
If you need, I'm just saying here, if you need to sign all of those players all at once for team chemistry, you have the wrong guys in that clubhouse, in my opinion.
Anthony.
Like, if you have to sign those guys because you're worried about team chemistry, so you all have to make them happy, that to me is a bad recipe. And you got the wrong players in that clubhouse.
You got a text from Jub the Rub says, "Damn, no direct deposit back then, Carey, were dinosaurs roaming too?" No, the Roonies just knew that if you didn't come pick up your check on your off day, which was a Tuesday, probably wasn't going to cash that thing until, I don't know, the next Monday. Probably a lot of money and a lot of interest being paid into those accounts. The longer that money sits in that account. Just saying. So, Tuesday was the day to go pick up your check, Anthony.
Got it.
If your check is, I don't know, $800,000 for that week, you don't go pick it up. Somebody's making some money.
You know who? Not somebody. You know who. All right, Marsh, go ahead.
Question number 2.
All right, we were talking about candy earlier today with BT. From the 314, what is your favorite non-chocolate candy?
Nothing.
You don't like any non-chocolate candy?
I don't like, no.
No? So like Skittles, Starburst?
Starburst is chewy, get in your teeth. You gotta get it. I'm cool.
Okay.
Skittles I could handle. I'm not a candy guy. I've never enjoyed candy. Now, like chocolate bars, like Snickers or M&M's. I like Reese's Pieces. I love.
So you do like candy, but you
I don't
prefer
like
the chocolate.
I like chocolate. Yeah. I don't like
You don't like the
Nerds
sweet.
or sweet and sour.
What about those high chews? Would you consider those to be candy?
I would.
I'll do it. Like you have them in there, I'll chew them, but I wouldn't go buy it myself.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I don't.
You'll
I
have
don't
like
think,
one or two.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever. Not for myself. Like just went to a store and bought candy. Like I'll buy a candy bar.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But like I've never gone to a store and bought.
I hear you.
Like I don't think I've ever went and bought a bag. I just want some Skittles today.
Right.
Never that I can think of went to buy Skittles or.
I'm with you on that.
Insert any other hard candy, sweet candy like that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I prefer like chocolate bars over like sweet candy like that. I'm with you, but I still like it. Like I think Skittles are good. I think Starbursts are good. But like you're saying, CD, I don't go out of my way to get it.
If it's there, I might eat a few. But
the kids like the nerd like clusters.
Oh, those are so good.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
You guys have skipped over the best candy out there, which is Sour Patch Kids.
I can do some Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patches.
Are you guys more sweet or salty for your snacks? Now, Jamie just walked back in, and I know he's more salty because of his teeth.
I'm more sweet.
Is that a shot? Is that a shot?
No.
At me?
I'm talking about candy.
Is that a shot at me?
You can't have ice cream because your teeth.
Yeah, that's true. Can't have ice cream. It's terrible.
I can't have ice cream either.
Terrible.
Nice.
You can.
I can. I wouldn't be around me when I have it.
Yeah.
We talking about candy here?
Yeah. So, but they eliminated the chocolate bars and stuff like that.
I like the Smarties. Those like sour little things. Those are good. What?
Smarties are good.
What are you laughing at?
Smarties are.
That's a candy.
They're fine. You know, like
fast lane fine is what you said.
Yeah, like they're fine.
I like sweet tarts. Like Spree.
Sweet tarts are good.
I like chewy Spree.
Yeah,
you ever have the chewy Spree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I stay away from
314 brings up Lifesaver gummies. Those are also really good.
Those are good.
And I love Starburst jelly beans.
Those are solid.
those sour gummy worms. They don't get enough attention. Those are pretty good.
The trolleys, is that what they're called?
Tell you what, the original gummy bear too is solid.
It's not bad.
Yeah. You a gummy bear fan?
I do like gummy bears.
Nice.
Now I will, because like on the team planes, there was always like there's so many dang on snacks. The gummy bears,
that's solid.
I'll grab. Yeah, give me those gummy bears.
Good.
I'll eat those.
Glad to hear, CD.
I'm cool. I don't need a whole bag of Skittles to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Even at the movie
They
theater?
might will just pour sugar in my mouth. That's how I feel about like that type of candy. I'd be better off just grabbing a cup of sugar and drinking it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I'm not a big Skittles guy.
Do you guys eat candy at the movie theater when you go to the movies?
Yeah, chocolate candy.
Chocolate covered raisins. Love them. Love
really?
them. The Raisinets.
You know what I like? Those miniature Charleston Chew.
Okay,
The chocolate little.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are solid.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Anytime I go to the movies, I always get Sour Patches and Milk Duds. Love Milk Duds.
You know, Milk Duds are pretty underrated. I think
they're properly rated.
When Milk Duds are around, have you had Milk Duds recently?
I just think they're.
I felt the same way.
If it's fast lane, fine.
And then Lincoln had some.
No, they're good.
Lincoln had some Milk Duds, and he's like, "Do you want one?" I'm like, "Man, a Milk Dud." And then I'm like, "All right, buddy, I'll have one." I'm like, "Whoa!"
And then you took the whole box.
And I took the whole box from him.
You don't need this. It'll ruin
Then
your
he
teeth.
punched me right in
It's
the ear.
not good. But Dad, you're eating them.
I'm
It's
surprised
okay.
he offered it
It's
to you.
fine.
That was nice of him.
Yeah, sometimes every once in a
turning
while.
the corner.
No, just he has like moments where he's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Who, Lincoln?
Yeah,
It's
But
just enough.
you know what it
But
is,
it's-
right? Like the same thing happened. Like McKinnon is the wild one, and because once you're home, once you get past 2 kids, where it's man-to-man coverage, right? Now you're into zone defense, or in hockey, the penalty kill. You're on the penalty kill, and at some point, your home turns into prison.
Yeah.
And that's what happens is the warden can only be in one spot at a time. So if the prisoners don't set the boundaries or you don't serve justice when it's needed to be done, then you're going to get ate up and spit out.
True.
So Lincoln, being the youngest right now, newest guy into the prison,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
They're going to test him.
Absolutely.
And he's got to push back. And he's got not just push back, he's got to push back so much that they think he's crazy, so they don't mess with him anymore.
Boy, you're right about that.
Yeah.
He's the one trying to get rid of Matty, right?
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
would he really do it, or he just said it, and then because of the way he acts with the double punches, it's believable. You're like, okay, he
Yeah.
might do it. I'm going to leave this kid alone. So see, he's actually got it figured out.
That's a really good call.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't happen. But if he ever has to spend time,
Yeah.
Oh, let's not.
I said, let's hope it
let's
doesn't.
not.
Carey, I'm trying to.
You
tell
never know.
Let's hope
In
not.
timeout.
I said,
Yeah.
let's hope this doesn't happen. But if it does, I'm not worried about it.
My brother-in-law Mike and the godfather of Lincoln says, "You hush your mouth. Lincoln's an angel and a saint."
He's got the look.
He does. He does have the look.
Yeah.
Like, this kid's adorable.
Oh, how
Next thing
cute
you know,
is
he's double punching Killian.
All of a sudden, it's
Yeah, and talking about how Maddie, after ticking him off once,
Getting her
and
gone.
I'm talking about once, like Madeline is very sweet to him, taking her out to the sidewalk and having thrown her in the recycling bin so the recycling truck can take her away. That's your angel. Go ahead, Mark.
Question number 3.
All right, from 636, if you could sign a 20-year contract to coach or manage any professional team, which team would you choose? You can take into account team tradition, winning history, location, sport, etc.
give me those Dodgers.
Well, the manager doesn't get paid as much.
They're going to make a lot of money in your 20 years.
Yeah.
Probably win
You're
10
just fine.
championships.
Right.
Hey, I want this player. They'll go get him.
20 years in one place coaching this. I mean, the easy answer is Pittsburgh. But
what?
College coaches make more.
People get sentenced to 20 years in Pittsburgh.
No, you would love Pittsburgh. Football season, Sunday night in America.
Whoa, 16 weeks of the year are awesome.
16 weeks, I can go home afterwards.
Why don't you live in Pittsburgh then, Carey?
That's a very good question. Very, very good question. I've thought about it. It gets cold in Pittsburgh. Not like it's not cold here.
Well, 20 years there, though, do you?
I would do 20 years in Pittsburgh. I enjoyed Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was awesome. I'm thinking more like college football, maybe like a Notre Dame or like Texas for some reason. Like a
Oregon.
lot of. Yeah.
What?
Texas,
That's
Oregon.
Nike money.
I mean, they got money to blow up there. They
got money.
The only problem.
It's not Oregon.
No,
I mean, Oregon's sweet. They got sweet facilities.
Pacific
and-
Northwest.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
everything's overpriced, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Texas
sorry.
would be ideal, though.
Texas,
fine.
no state
Rutgers.
taxes. They don't want to live in New Jersey.
No, it's cheaper there. It's more economic.
Actually,
you guys,
probably
James
isn't.
Madison.
Where is James Madison? Do we know?
Isn't that Norfolk?
Virginia?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is it in Virginia?
I think so.
Ah, it is Virginia.
We stayed at a hotel
Yeah.
when I played in the minors and played in Norfolk. It was called the James Madison Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrible. You could reach your arm under the door and almost unlock. People were like, some of the doors didn't lock.
No way.
I swear to you. And one guy, we walked in this one room. We thought it was one of our players. The guy was in there with a hot plate, bubbling something up. I was like,
You know, he was bubbling something up,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
James Madison Hotel. Maybe it's still around.
Harrisonburg, Virginia is where James Madison University resides.
Harrisonburg.
Harrisonburg.
Let's see if the James Madison Hotel's still going.
Yeah. Texas sounds like a good place.
All right.
UT.
Texas
Austin is
works.
a beautiful city.
Mm-hmm.
Austin
Yeah.
is like a really nice city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Texas.
You're the head coach of UT.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you might not ever pay for a meal as long as you're winning.
That's right. As
You go
long as you're
out
winning.
As long as you're winning at it.
Yep.
If you're losing, you're probably not leaving the house except for to go to work and go back home.
That's correct.
We don't like you here.
Why is that?
Went 10-1.
Yeah, let's talk about that one. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Continue to send in your Sports Six-Pack questions. The Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Again, we'll continue the Sports Six-Pack next. This month at Auto Centers Nissan, it's simple. More vehicles, bigger savings, and one easy location. Herculaneum, Missouri, right off I-55, just minutes from South County. At Auto Centers Nissan, they have over 1,000 new and used vehicles right there on Auto Centers Nissan's lot. And right now, 2026 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, Murano, and Frontier models are all available with 0% APR for 60 months. Plus, remaining 2025 Nissans are discounted up to $12,000 off MSRP. So you're talking about great savings right out the gates when you go to Auto Centers Nissan. Every new Nissan also includes their 30-day return promise, and qualified shoppers can take advantage of no payments for up to 6 months, as well as no money down. Shopping used, Auto Centers Nissan has one of the largest used vehicle selections in any location, or in one location, I'd say, with prices marked down significantly. Plus, select used vehicles are available with no money down and no payments for 3 months. With over 1,000 vehicles all out in Herculaneum, one location, it's easier to find the right fit, the right price, and the right payment. It's Auto Centers Nissan, and you can shop now at autocentersnissan.com. It's Elm Stalter sent you.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line as we continue our Sports Six Pack with part 2. Go ahead, Marsh.
Question number 4.
All right, from the 314, what household repair is the one you hate doing yourself? Electric, plumbing, or carpentry?
Wow.
I would advise you not to do electric.
Electric, I'd stay away
If
from.
you aren't an electrician,
yeah,
don't pretend to be one, because it could get real, and you could end up in the hospital. So electricity, unless you actually know what you're doing, and if you do, turn off all the power just to be safe.
Yeah, I've done a couple of things with electrical, and of course I turn the power off and make sure, and I take the little testers, the voltage thing, to make sure there ain't no voltage going through those wires. But I'm always a little nervous that I don't do it right, So I stress a little bit. For me, it's plumbing. Sinks, like
toilets,
the
sinks.
faucet was a little loose. So the house, when we bought it, the people had redone the kitchen. You guys have been there, like nice countertops, whatnot, but they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't fasten the faucet the right way. It doesn't have like the lock, and it's got the screwy little thing, and they didn't put any caulking around there.
Plumber's putty.
Yeah. And so I'm under there. My back is twisted. There's a double sink, so you're trying to reach up through, and I'm trying to, and then like 2 hours later, it's loose again. Anything to do with plumbing like that, and then if you screw it up, water won't kill you like electricity can, but water gets everywhere, and you're like, son of a.
Yeah.
For me, it's the plumbing as well, like being under a sink. Like I do real estate, I invest in properties, and when I first started, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna save money. I'm gonna do some of this work
I know
myself.
how to do some things,
and I do, but I realized under that damn sink, first of all, it ain't enough space for somebody with broad shoulders to be up under there trying to. So now you're squeezing in. You're trying to, like Jamie said, tuck yourself.
Bottom of the counter.
It's breaking your back in the middle of it because you don't have any cushion, and you're just uncomfortable as can be. And then if you, like Jamie says, if you don't get it right, then you got to get back under there because there's water leaking. You're like this.
Yeah. You just got to put like the bowl, the Tupperware under there because you're just not quite sure.
Or you go with the paper towels or the newspaper for like 24 hours to make sure. Yeah, no thanks.
The plumbing for me is under those sinks is like, I'm cool, bro.
Yeah, not thrilled.
I don't want to do that. Not enough space.
Yeah, I'm with you guys with the plumbing. I actually don't mind the small electrical stuff, like the outlets, like changing out outlets. I did when we first moved into our house, I don't know, 15 years ago. They were all like the what is it, off-white color, and Kristen's like, I want all white. I spent like an entire weekend.
Now, did you change just the faceplate or the whole plug itself?
The whole plug itself.
Yeah,
that's paid.
See that, but yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about a lot of plugs.
Yeah,
and I did get shocked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're going to for sure.
So what I did was I went in the basement and I was at the breaker and I had Kristen on the cell phone. I'm like, hey, so I'm making sure she's got the like you're talking about, like the tester. So she's going around making sure, like, all right, yep, that one's off, so well. You
had a roll going on a different
one
that you didn't know
in our bathroom, and it was in the master bath, and the one of the wires was loose in the back.
Yeah.
So when she went to test it, there was no power going to that one. So she goes, "You're all good." Well, she had her cousin over, and they were having like drinks out on the back patio, and I'm going around, I'm doing all the outlets. Well, at that point, I thought all the electricity was off. So I'm not working with any sort of rubber gloves or anything like that. And it was good, I'm moving around. I grabbed that thing like I was like I was a 20.
You were probably 4 or 5 of them already in. You had done a few.
Carey,
you thought the
15 of them. I was 15 in by that point.
He was cocky.
I was cocky. And now I'm kind of angry because I'm like, like let's just get this over with. I grabbed that thing. That bolt went all the way up my arm. before I released it, and it was like, go! I mean, you feel it going up your muscles.
It's a bad feeling. I've had that. We were at the lake house one time, and I was just, Mr. Fix-It at the lake house, doing a bunch of stuff, and our water pump was on the fritz. I go down, and we got to pull the thing out of the lake and whatnot. And I thought I had to break her off, but there was a rogue breaker that was for part of the little motor or whatever.
Yeah.
And I got under there, and and all of a sudden, like it grabbed my whole body.
Yeah.
I felt it like straight through my arms, through my chest and lower back.
Yeah.
My dad goes, "Oh, we got a live wire, do we?" What's your first clue, Dad?
Yeah, we do, Dad. Yeah, we do.
Well, now we know what that rogue breaker is.
Yeah, no kidding. It's for that.
I turn everything off. I don't even bother. I do it during the daytime. Turn all. I don't need any electricity on in the entire house. I will turn everything off if I got to do something electrical, because, like you said, it could be one that you think is turned off and it's actually locked into something else. And you're like, oh, didn't know that. So,
we get a quote here, or a comment from 304. Some things are just worth writing a check for, fellas. Yes.
100%.
And that's what I do for the most part now.
I don't mind.
Correct.
I'll be honest, I don't mind like doing fans. Like I did all the fans. It's small electrical stuff.
That's
like,
frustrating, though, too.
It can be.
Then you put it in, it's off balance. And you got to fix that.
I don't mind. But the plumbing stuff, I'm with you guys. Like any sort of plumbing stuff, especially under the kitchen sink, is just it's brutal. Hate it. If I have to if I have to saw something or cut it, forget it, man.
No,
I guarantee you, I will jack that thing up.
Measure twice, Anthony.
I can measure it 42 times. When I cut it, it will not be straight. It will be off.
It happens.
It happens. All right, we have biggest question of the day coming up next on 101 ESPN.
Quit stressing out about selling your home. Just pick up the phone, call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. She's the best in the business. She's been in the area doing business for over 20 years. St. Louis area, St. Charles area, doesn't matter. Gloria Lou, she's going to understand exactly what your house should be priced for, and she's going to sell quickly. And that's the thing, too. I talked about it before, talking to several, not just one or two, several of Gloria Lou's clients, and they said that the process was super easy. They talked to Gloria. They talked about a price for their home. She listed the home for that price, got them more money than they thought they were going to get, and she sold the house within 2 to 3 days, an agreed upon contract. It's awesome. And also got them to the closing table as well. So quit messing around trying to figure things out on your own, or don't go with an unknown real estate agent or realtor person. No, go with Gloria Lou. She's the best, and I highly, highly recommend her. So give her a call. Please tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number's 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Fastlane's biggest question of the day. Presented by Banner Construction, the experts in James Hardy siding.
502, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Andrew Marsh with the biggest question of the day.
All right, gentlemen, so the Springfield Thunderbirds, they're getting some reinforcements. Justin Carbonneau and Adam Juracek, two of the St. Louis Blues' top prospects, they're joining the team. So I think that's an awesome thing for those two young players, and they've concluded their junior seasons. We discussed Jeremy Rutherford's survey, the fan survey that was last week, and some of the results came out. One of the questions was from JR's fan survey: should 2025 first-round pick Justin Carbonneau be on the 2026-27 roster, even if he's learning on the fly defensively? The results are in. 74% said yes, 26% said no. With all that being said, what does this AHL playoff stint mean for not only Adam Juracek, but Justin Carbonneau?
Okay, before I answer that question, can we go back to the survey result, please?
There is a little part of that is interesting based on another player on the team, and I'm sure that's what you want to bring up.
That's exactly what I say. Everybody wants to just eviscerate Jordan Kyrou.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, oh, that's okay. We don't care about defense as long as this guy scores goals. He hasn't scored one goal in the NHL yet, let alone 35 or close to 40. And 70-some% of people are okay living with the bad defense while he learns on the fly. That's just weird to me, guys.
What are you saying, Jamie?
I'm not saying anything. They said it with their survey,
eyes,
with their clicking.
Jamie, could that be because it's the unknown, and they feel as though that Carbonneau will score 84 goals per season?
Yeah, I don't like it. Yes. He hasn't played one game of pro hockey yet. I hope he plays great. It's not even me. Doug Armstrong talks about ad nauseum how you got to slow play these kids. The organization cannot fail the player.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest mistake you can make. Yet here we are. Well, let him learn on the fly. We're all hyper about a kid who's never played a game yet.
Right.
Yet. He will play lots of games in the NHL, and I think he will be a really good goal scorer. But let's not get carried away. But back on topic, the AHL playoffs, this is a great moment for both Juracek and Carbonneau to get their feet wet. This is going to be big-time stuff. It's not the NHL, but you're getting the American Hockey League's best players right now. It's the second round of the playoffs, which means they're good teams. The teams that have been eliminated have sent down certain players or have had added college or junior players that are some of the best players. So this is going to be great competition. I think Steve Ott, I know he's done a fantastic job there. I think Juracek's going to be inserted in the lineup. So will Carbonneau. They'll both get power play time. They might be the two difference makers that help the Springfield Thunderbirds go deep into the playoffs, let alone maybe even win a championship. They might be. And it's going to be a great experience for them. It's going to be invaluable because every goal is important. So if you're lacking defensively and you give up a goal, you're going to learn quickly that it's unacceptable. For the Carbonneau, as far as defensive recognition, for Juracek, he's going to learn quickly that the plays that worked last week in the OHL playoffs, not all of them are going to work at the American Hockey League level, let alone the NHL. It is the best teacher, is to play in games with better competition. So I'm thrilled for that.
Do you think that because they are having this stint right now, that going into next year, they necessarily wouldn't need AHL time, or do you still believe that they'll need AHL time before they jump to the national?
History would tell me they'll need AHL time, especially Juracek. You know, he's a guy that, as a defenseman, we know that goalie, the hardest one, defense second, and centerman third, and playing forward, just wing, is probably, with no disrespect, the easiest jump for guys. So for Carbonneau's sake, if Steve Ott and coaching staff can outline good defensive structure and good puck decisions for this young man, it might speed up his process if he's that dominant offensively when he's playing against other guys who are equal or greater caliber than he is right now. I want people to enjoy the ride with these young players. I don't want them to be forcing them into spots to where they're going to fail. And someone says here, Ron Jamie, he can learn defense on the fly. Well, Cairo only plays defense when he wants to. How do you know it's not going to be the same thing?
Jamie, you've never played hockey before. You don't know what you're talking about.
You know what, guys? I'm done with this. After today, I'll see you Monday.
You know what?
Yeah, Anthony's got to suspend you first.
Him? Because he can't. He can't do that without.
I can.
No. That's not in the.
No, that's not how it works.
You know what, Anthony?
You got to be suspended.
You know what, Anthony? Fast lane you. I don't like your clothes, and your attitude sucks.
No, listen, Jamie, you told me the other day how much you appreciated my attitude and my clothes. So,
no, I don't.
I think you're trying to get suspended right now.
I think your Falcons are awesome. They make great decisions.
Okay, you know what?
That's it.
He's trying to get run.
I don't appreciate that. You're done. 2 days.
There we go.
We'll see you on Monday.
That's terrible. What are you talking about?
Come on, Blue.
You know what? I don't even want you. I don't even want you in the state. Get out.
Now you got to go over to his mic and kick it.
No, I won't do that.
No, not you, Anthony. Jamie.
I got his mic and kick it?
Yeah. It might fall off, though. It has happened.
I don't want to test the durability of anything in this.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, let's just stay away from that. Yeah. Anyways.
Sticking with hockey, Gary Bettman was on the Pat McAfee show, and one thing that he said was, when you see the result of last night, there's no incentive in our game to lose to get a better pick. Do you think what happened last night sort of...
The incentive is to be in a great city, huh?
Big city, rich history, and an opportunity for the NHL to market you based on what player you choose.
Why haven't they done that for the Blues? It's not a big enough city yet?
No, sir.
Not enough history?
Well, history's fine. Yeah, no, history's great. But,
because the Blues should have got the number 1 overall pick.
Over Toronto?
Yeah. Team on ascending?
Nope.
Yeah, were a couple guys...
No, one's the Maple Leafs.
Well, what does that mean, Anthony?
Tell him, Jamie.
It's just different, Carey.
Yankees of hockey.
Yankees of hockey. The Cowboys of football. Although it used to be the Cowboys.
The Notre Dame of college football.
I don't know. Notre Dame got screwed last year, too, so...
They'll be the Gary. You don't think the committee
lose 4 games this year? They're going to play.
Why do you think they're trying to expand it to 24 to just cover the bases?
Notre Dame got to get in.
Yeah. So no, I don't think it's the same.
I think GB made a mistake.
You think so?
Yeah, old GB. Got to lock in, GB. Give me a call. Tell you about St. Louis. History.
By the way, we were talking about Framber Valdez earlier. He's been suspended 5 games for hitting Boston Red Sox shortstop Trevor Story. Valdez's suspension, which equates to 1 missed start in the rotation, was reduced from 6 games to 5, and he will start with Wednesday's game against the Red Sox.
I don't like when pitchers get suspended and they only miss 1 game. I mean, because what are you really doing?
If you've suspended 5 games, that's
I mean,
the season.
5 starts.
5, maybe not 5 starts, but you only miss you miss 1 game, right? What the hell you think you? That's a vacation.
Oh, I'd be pitching to guys all the time. I'd throw them into the dugout.
Right at the man.
Stealing signs, eh, boys? What does this one say?
Take this. No. 1 game's fine.
It's fine. I would have given him nothing.
I think so. If you charge the mound, isn't it 1 game?
What?
If you charge the mound, 1 game?
If you there are some.
If you go into the field to play, I think is
1 game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's the equivalent.
Yeah, but
no. Okay. All right. I don't know what to tell you. Outside of Russell Wilson says he's weighing offer from the Jets and network TV.
All right, Russ.
Boy, who doesn't want to see that personality on TV, huh?
You love Russ. You love Russell Wilson.
No.
You love his integrity. You love
want him as
his commitment to the game. Him being he is the epitome of always be ready. You just never know. You're
even
on the
when you're not rostered.
Even when you're in
full gear,
you can never be too ready. You know?
Yeah.
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, and that's Russell Wilson. He stayed ready. 3rd quarterback, you don't know what's going to happen. Somebody goes down, boom.
CD, I've got some shocking news for you.
What do you have for me?
Joel Embiid is hurt.
That's not shocking.
76er star Joel Embiid out for Game 2 due to multiple injuries. He's going to miss the matchup against the Knicks Game 2 because of a right hip soreness and right ankle sprain.
Yeah, he's like, the taller they are, the more
he's always
banged up they are. Something about, I don't know, maybe bones, brittle bones. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely something to do with that, I think.
Like the taller you
the
are,
bigger, taller,
knees, ankles.
Well, you see some of those basketball players shortly after retirement, and they are hobbling.
Knees are jacked up, ankles, like it's got to be something.
You can't be that large as a human being, move around that much, and not have ramifications.
Yeah.
Very true. All right. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Does a player-led program actually work in college sports? One Big Ten team, Carey, is trying to do just that. We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
Well, all of those pests and critters are out in full force. I know myself at the Rivers house, we had lots of action going on. Those moles were digging little highways under my grass. The voles were jumping in. We had carpenter bees. We had wasps. We had ants, all sorts of fun friends around the house. Well, not anymore. Nope. I called Amco Ranger. They came out, did a fantastic job of setting things up, taking care of things, spraying in certain areas, doing things that I had no idea what they were doing, but it took care of things. They came back the next week. They had a couple of moles in the traps, and they laid a few more and made sure to spray again. And the best part about Amco Ranger is they're telling you everything as they go as to why they're doing it and when they're going to do it again and what to look for. It was great. I've never had that kind of customer service before, and they just continue to be the best in the business. They're family-owned business for over 60 years. They're in the Cottleville area as their headquarters, but they service the entire St. Louis, St. Charles area. So please don't hesitate. Get ahead of things, too. You don't even have to have those critters around right now. Get ahead of it so they don't come around at all. But you got to give them a call. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. Their number, 636-441-2847. That's 636-441-2847. Or you can visit amcoranger.com.
Thompson on 101 ESPN. So I was reading an article at ESPN.com about Penn State, who, of course, let go of James Franklin in the middle of the season last year, despite his long tenure there. Now, Carey, you and I thought that James Franklin had been there for about, 3 years. He'd been there for 22. Yeah.
Double digit. I was blown away.
Same. But they did finally release James Franklin of his duties, and they did hire now former Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell. And the core message of the article was that what Matt Campbell is preaching, it's not about schemes or recruiting rankings or even wins and losses. It's about culture transformation. And Matt Campbell wasn't hired just to tweak Penn State's football program. He was brought in to fix why they keep losing big games. And his approach is simple, and Penn State hopes that it's powerful. The approach is to make the program player-led, so deeply connected and unified at every level. And everything that the article points out also points back to that. So, for example, players didn't even know where the head coach's office was before Matt Campbell arrived. And James Franklin seems like a really well-liked and respected coach. So it's not like he did anything wrong from that standpoint. But players now meet with Campbell regularly. They have a keypad code, and they can come and go as they wish, and they can hang out upstairs casually. So it's a complete reversal of hierarchy, where they had James Franklin before, kind of authority, distant, maybe fearful. The new model is accessible, relational, and collaborative. Campbell's also instituting some things that will breed competitiveness outside of the football field. For example, he's got, returning Penn State players. He's bringing in Iowa State transfers, coaches, everybody. They're judged on class attendance, community service, competition in terms of fitness and games and things like that. Player-led accountability as well. Players said last year it wasn't really player-led. Coaches controlled everything last year. Now players are owning everything. And why that matters is you don't win big games. The idea is you don't just win big games because of better plays. You win because players execute under pressure. There's a lot more that goes into the article, but I'll stop here because I really want your thoughts on this, CD. As somebody that played collegiately as well as in the NFL in multiple spots, do you think that it can work when you hear player-led?
Yeah, I think it should be. I think the best teams are the teams that hold one another accountable in that locker room. If the coach is the one that always has to be the authority or has to be the authoritarian or has to be the one to always discipline or put people in their place, you probably don't have a good team. Mm-hmm. And because really good teams, you're led by your captains, by your leaders, by the guys that are there every single day. And there's an accountability aspect to it where I don't want to let this person down. I'll be more distraught by letting down this person than I would my coach, because I see the amount of work that this guy is putting in. I'm watching him work out in here every single day. I'm watching him study film and go over. And so if I don't do my part, I'm preventing him from winning a championship. Mm-hmm. That's that I can't do. That's my friend. Yeah. I don't want to do that to my friend. So I think the best teams have that mentality where we're all working for one common goal, but I don't have to have the coach be the one to say, hey, you messed that up. It's like, you know what? That's on me. I got you. Or your teammate says, hey, what are we doing? Nope, you're right. I got it. And those are the best teams, in my opinion.
So Paul Maurice, a couple of years ago, their first run to the Stanley Cup final, he said that because he was a new coach there, he was getting familiarized with the team and the players and whatnot. He says, I was important for the first half of the season. He says, because I was me and my staff that put together what we thought was going to be the plan, the systems, and all that. And he goes, second half of the season, I was a spectator. The players coached themselves. They held each other accountable. They pushed each other. Now, they didn't win a cup that year, but they went to the final. And then, as we know, won 2 in a row. And Paul Maurice has said the same thing every year, that his job is he stands behind the bench, gives his feedback from time to time, but that the players understand what the standard is. They hold each other accountable. They don't take it personal if someone's mad at them because they didn't do their job properly. They identify when they've done their job poorly. They correct each other. So what Carey's saying is right, is you have to have the head of the snake, which would be the coach, the boss, because that's, at the end of the day, someone has to be the one that's ultimately leading.
Yeah.
But when you have a team that accepts responsibility and accountability and leads itself, that gets a lot easier for the coach, because now the coach can dissect certain plays in the game for football, whatever, or in hockey, certain power plays, breakout systems. Now I can spend less time worrying about the culture of the team and the accountability factor and the puck management. Now I can focus on the things that might give us a slight edge in those games.
Yeah.
And that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So as we go back to this article, Penn State's biggest problem under James Franklin was that they couldn't win the big game. They're 1-18 versus Big Ten teams, versus top 10 Big Ten teams. Excuse me, obviously not 1-18. It's all Big Ten teams. 1-18 versus top 10 Big Ten teams. 15 straight losses to top 10 opponents. Do you feel as though there is a correlation between the players maybe not holding themselves accountable, like Matt Campbell's trying to institute, and losing against big-time opponents? Or do you purely think, CD, it's just, look, they didn't have the best players in those games?
Well, no, I think they had outstanding players, and I think they always have had them. I think that part comes from, like, the psyche, the mindset. And I go back to Kurt Signetti when they were playing at Penn State, and the reporter was like, you all have never won at Penn State. He said, this team's never played at Penn State. Yeah. Like, it was like a cycle. Like, I don't know.
Right.
What do you refer? And so that is embedded in your brain if that's what's being said throughout the entire week. They say we've never won there. Any of you guys ever played there? No. None of y'all have ever played there. So this team has never lost.
I don't even know where the hell it is, Coach.
Exactly. So I think it's more to do with that. And I do think that comes from the coaching. Like the offseason can be, we're all going to hold each other accountable, and then game time. But preparation leading up to the game, that's coaching. That's making sure that our psyche is correct and our mind is correct and we're focused on the right things. And then there's a thing where you have to learn how to win. Like, if you don't know how to win in those environments, and that Penn State game that we're talking about with Indiana, a team that, like the reporter said, you've never won here, it went down to the final play of the game. Mm-hmm. And Indiana found a way to win that game. So there's also a time where, as a team, if you're not accustomed to winning those games, you just got to find a way to win one. And then it becomes easier to win the next one because it becomes repetition. You know how to do it now because you've already done it. If you've never done it, there's a part of you that's like, until we actually get it done, it's hard to believe that it can be done.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's gonna be very interesting to see how a program builder like Matt Campbell, who did have success at Iowa State, but of course that success is going to be somewhat limited because of who you're going to be able to bring to Ames, Iowa. Well, now it's flipped, and you go to a institution like Penn State where you know you're going to get the players there because it's a big brand, and what a program builder like Matt Campbell can do in a bigger spot. We've seen some of those head coaches excel, and we've seen other head coaches absolutely fall flat. So like Brian Kelly, for example, goes from Cincinnati to Notre Dame, had a great run at Notre Dame, but Notre Dame, obviously, with their academic standards, that he was always going to be somewhat limited, somewhat capped there. And he goes to LSU, where he can have recruits from everywhere, especially in the Southeast. Mm-hmm. He's got this big program, and he couldn't handle it. So it'll be interesting to see if Matt Campbell, who I think is much different than Brian Kelly, by the way. I'm not comparing the two, but just the situation of going from a smaller program, much smaller in Iowa State's standpoint, to Penn State. I'm interested to see how he does.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
First year. They love him now. You better win.
Yeah, right. That's always the case, right? Now, Marsh, you had signed a 1-year contract with the Iowa State Cyclones, and I don't feel like
that will not be renewed.
Yeah, I got the sense that you were kind of done with the Cyclones after about week 3.
Yeah, I quickly hopped on the Miami bandwagon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you signing a one-year fan deal with the Miami Hurricanes? Or is that
I'll have to talk to my people.
Okay.
We still have time.
Drew Rosenhaus, the Shark?
Not the Shark, no.
Yeah, you got other people.
You got other people.
Okay.
Not the people that.
But who knows, though? Some people, they end up switching agencies. Maybe I'll do that. Depends on if my people give me the wrong team again, we might have a problem.
You might have new people.
Might have new people.
All right. Fair
new
enough.
camp.
Fair enough. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got Bet the Board next. Jamie, I know you feel the same way. I love working with Stewie. There's a certain comfort when you call Stewie and you got a question for him. And that comfort is knowing that you're talking to an expert that actually has your best interests at heart. If you call other people, and I'm not even talking about just the mortgage industry, you call other people that you're seeking out advice, you're relying on them, you're trusting them, even though if you don't know them, you're trusting them to provide you with good information. You can tell pretty quickly if that person is only in for themselves. And Stewie is the exact opposite. He thrives off of just simply wanting to set you and your family up for better success.
Yeah, Stewie thrives with that old school customer service where, even if you call him and he helps you just briefly over the phone and for some reason they don't get paid or they don't make money, Stewie doesn't care. He knows that good advice and good customer service will work its way out. You'll come back again. You'll tell somebody about Stewie. And that's really what it's all about. And when it comes to purchasing a home, finances, debt consolidation, anything, pick up the phone and call him. Anything financial, quite honestly, because I've done that. I've had a question about something that I don't even think he deals with. I'm going to call Stewie anyways, and he finds an answer for me. He's the best in the business. He's our guy, and needs to be your guy. Give him a call at 314-324-4440.
Again, that number is 314-324-4440.
If you can't remember that number, what can you do?
You can always Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interview with Brad Thompson, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. The Cardinals lost 6-2 earlier today to the Milwaukee Brewers. They're back in action tomorrow night, taking on the San Diego Padres with Matthew Liberatore on the mound. First pitch tomorrow night, 9:10. Coming up next, we have Bet the Board. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we have Bet the Board right now. How did we do last night, Marsh?
All right, so I believe most of us did pretty well, except for Carey. Ellie Dela Cruz, 0 for 5, I believe.
Can we talk about something?
Holy smokes.
I'm watching that game last night.
I watched the entire thing. I was sweating
shocked
the entire
by
time.
a couple things. I'll start out with this before I tell you what I was shocked about. What's the score that I called yesterday?
You called 4-2.
Yeah.
4-2 Colorado.
Yeah. The score was 4-2. 4.4 seconds left. Nichushkin.
Bless you.
Thank you. Decides to just shoot it down the ice. All I needed was one rebound to the corner to the boards. Mm-hmm. And Marshy doesn't hit his play.
Yep.
4.4, it goes in. I thought for sure, Marshy, I picked up my phone and I held it and I looked at it and I went to our Fast Lane chat just waiting for the little bubbles to pop up.
And nothing.
Nothing. Great discipline, Marshy.
Yeah, I was sweating that one for sure. I was actually hoping that Minnesota would score.
Yeah, either way.
Because it didn't look like Colorado had any interest of really going for an empty net because they didn't really need to. Mm-hmm. And then Nichushkin, you said he shot it. I don't even know if he tried to shoot it. He flipped it out of the zone.
He turned and just
he just flipped it up in the air, and it just happened to go all the way down the ice. And then with 4 seconds left, it went in the back of the net, and I said, let's go. And I got off the couch and went to my room.
Nice work, man. Just out of curiosity, what did I have? What first 5 did I have?
Arizona first 5. They were up 2-0, and then in the 6th inning, they
scored a bunch.
They put up 5 on the Pirates.
They won 9-0.
I had the over in the first,
and that was 2-1 after the first. All right, so what are our standings here, Marsh?
You have 2 points. I have 2 points. Jamie has 2 points. Carey has 1 point.
So is it still me?
It's still it goes Jamie, Marsh, me, Carey.
All right. Ducks, Golden Knights tonight. Give me the over. First period. It's at 1.5, minus 140.
Okay.
Oh, you're up, Anthony.
Oh, I'm up?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you placed better than I did last month.
Got it. So our dear friend, Miles the Manatee McColas, is pitching for the Nationals tonight. So why don't you, Marsh, please give me the Minnesota Twins minus 120 in the first 5.
That's a great call, actually.
I don't want any comeback, right? Don't want to have to worry about that. I just want McColas' best effort in the first 3 innings. But I say best effort, I mean,
do what he does best.
Just do what you do.
5 runs or so. So give me those Twins minus 120, please, and thank you. First 5 only. First 5.
Yeah, first 5.
No game. Yep, don't want to worry about the Twins bullpen blowing it.
I'm going to go with Tage Thompson, 4+ shots on goal at minus 120 tonight.
That's spicy.
Okay.
Give me Aaron Judge 2.5 hits, runs, RBI.
2.5.
The 1.5 doesn't It's too low. Too high in there.
2.5.
Yeah. I probably should have tried it.
Who is that?
Aaron Judge. You ever heard
Aaron
of him?
Who are they
Bleepin' Judge.
They are playing the Texas Rangers.
Oh. Okay.
Good old Texas Rangers.
I'm surprised that's a line against a Skip Schumacher-led Texas Rangers.
Oh, wow.
I'm just surprised.
Yeah, especially with Nathan Eovaldi on the bump.
Sees him really well.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
I do.
What's your reference?
ESPN.com.
Would you Google it?
Did you goggle it over there? Is that what you're doing? You've been
I'm over here
goggling?
working.
You're an idiot.
I'm working.
There's only one thing you should be Googling.
Yeah, Carey.
Do too.
You know.
The bagel loan?
Was a wonderful setup that we were seized up.
The bagel loan?
Marsh, that was perfect.
It was. It was absolutely
We'd be
perfect.
proud.
Yep. He is. Yeah, he always is. But you know what? When Marsh does stuff like that, Stewie's definitely even more proud. All right. Cardinals lose today to the Brewers 6-2. Other NL Central games. Let's just check the old scoreboard, shall we? Reds Cubs tonight. Brady Singer, who's not been good, versus Colin Ray, who's been pretty good, and then Pirates Diamondbacks tonight. That's it in the NL Central.
Paul Skeens pitching for the Pirates.
The Buccos. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that guy stinks though. We know that.
Just against the Cardinals.
Yeah,
it's like the
great against everyone else.
Tampa Bay Rays. They're like a World Series contender if they played anybody but the National League Central.
Yeah, that's a good call.
They only have 2 losses against teams that are not in the National League Central.
Is that so? Mm-hmm. How about that? All right, we'll come back. Criticisms, compliments, 3 stars of the day. That's all next in the Fast Lane. I love what Don's Garage Doors did for us recently. They upgraded the spring on our garage door. They installed a spring. In fact, it's going to save a lot of wear and tear on the motor. And they installed a new motor. That motor's got a camera so that when, the kids are in the garage, make sure that they're safe. Also installed a new keypad on the front of the garage where that also has a camera, so I can kind of check out things. I get notifications, making sure that everything's on the up and up around the Stalter household. But I love the fact that John's Garage Doors came with an education for me, because I had no idea that the garage door is the heaviest piece of equipment that you're going to own in your house. I don't worry about any sort of repairs. I'll let Don's Garage Doors do that for me. They've got same-day service. If at some point we ever want to completely replace the garage door, we'll go with Don's Garage Door, because they have all the different styles and makes and models to upgrade our curb appeal when it comes to the house. They also have a tune-up special, $29.95. They can come on out, check out the diagnostics on your garage doors, and you might not think that's a big deal, but it is, because it could actually save you over the long haul. Again, I didn't know that my garage door, for example, was every time it was closing, it would close with a big bang, because it was too much wear and tear on the motor, the way that it was set up. It was closing too fast, and when it closes too fast and it crashes down to the ground there, again, your motor might last, instead of 15 to 20 years, it might only last 5 years or so, and you're putting in all that investment when it comes to your garage door, when you can actually just go with Don's Garage Doors, and they can completely look at everything, see how it's set up, provide the tune-up for you, and make sure everything's working like it should, and extend the life of your motor and everything else in your garage that has to do with your garage door. Don's Garage Doors.com is where you can find them online, or you can go to 866-4-DONS-DOOR. Again, call 866-4-DONS-DOORS. Don't wait until you're stuck in the driveway. Call Don's Garage Doors today. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or via the 101 ESPN mobile app, Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The podcast brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. I just did a Don's Garage Door ad.
It's okay.
And somebody just asked in the snake pit, is it Don or Dawn? Somebody respond, Don. I looked at Don while I was trying to say Dobbs.
So if you put it in the prompter, he's going to read it. It's wonderful.
Who put that in the prompter? you know he's going to read it. Before we get to criticisms and compliments, a couple of items here around the sports world. We had mentioned that the Tigers, Framber Valdez gets a 5-game ban for plunking Trevor Story. Russell Wilson is also weighing offers from the Jets and a TV career. Joel Embiid is out for Game 2 due to multiple injuries, so he will not face the Knicks. Derby winner Golden Tempo won't run in the Preakness.
Come on,
which is unfortunate.
Come on, man.
Why? I hate that.
Yeah,
like I get it. Like you have to. I don't know.
I gotta
what
get
the
him off
deal
his
is.
feet.
Their hooves.
Gotta get him off his hoofs. You know.
Jeez,
can't run the horse as hard every day.
I found out today that elephants have fingers. Apparently,
He's got one finger.
One finger.
The Asian elephant, one finger on its trunk.
Huh.
Yeah. But the horse racing world
Needs it.
You know, they had, for a while there, you didn't have the Triple Crown winner for a very long time. And then I think it was, American Pharoah that broke the long streak or the long skid for Triple. But then you don't get an opportunity to watch maybe a Triple Crown. I don't like it.
Unfortunate.
So the trainer and the owner decided to skip the Preakness and set their sights on the Belmont Stakes, which is June 6th at Saratoga. They said this was horse racing history too, as well, because the trainer of the Kentucky Derby winner Golden Tempo, a female, and his first female trainer to ever win a Derby.
Good for her.
So again, you got some history, and they decided, you know what, we out of the Preakness.
It's unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate. They say the 2-week turnaround from the Derby to the Preakness, which used to be a commonplace, is considered a non-starter for many trainers and owners, given the most elite thoroughbreds now typically go a month or more between races. Should they change things?
Sure. But how many races do they race in other races? Like, is it just the Derby?
No, they usually have one. Typically, like the bigger contenders have one big grade 1 stake, so it's like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and then they have like their maiden, which is their first race. So typically they have a graded stakes race or two before they go to the Kentucky Derby. So some big ones are like the Florida Derby is a grade 1, Arkansas Derby is a grade 1, Saratoga is a grade 1. So you'll see a lot of those winners go to the Kentucky Derby.
Gotcha.
And go. But a lot of them have 4, 5, 6 races under their belts before they get to the Derby.
Here's maybe a dumb question, but I don't claim to be a horse racing enthusiast. Do you have to qualify for the Kentucky Derby?
They have to be.
Like, do you have to have, like, golf, right? Like, for certain things in golf, or racing, like, you have to qualify. You got to. Like, can I just go buy a horse and put it in the Kentucky Derby?
That I don't know.
I mean, I'm being serious.
I think,
like, what if I'm like, I got a real stud?
Yeah.
Let's go down to the Derby.
Right. He finishes dead last, but you're there. I think they have to. I don't know for sure.
There's got to be some qualifications.
Yeah, and they have to be a certain age. Like, I think they have to be a three-year-olds in order to qualify.
Okay, but that still doesn't matter.
And
how many 3-year-old horses around the nation? There's tons of them.
But I think you're right. There's got to be some qualification.
We're going to be in the Derby next year, boys.
Let's do it.
Carey, you're driving.
Remember Gronk had a portion, like an owner. He was an owner.
Yeah,
we can get a horse.
Can we?
Yeah, heck yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to be any fast or any good.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We're training
horses. We're going to get her over 3 and probably just working horses.
We're going to train it.
Here, I'm going to look this up real quick because I'm
We got
interested.
Clydesdales right down the road.
All right. To qualify for the Kentucky Derby, a 3-year-old thoroughbred must earn enough points by placing in the top 5 in a series of designed Road to the Kentucky Derby prep races. The field is limited to the top 20-point earners. Additionally, horses must be officially nominated to the Triple Crown and pay entry and starting fees.
Oh, how much is that?
We're not giving it away.
Owners formally nominate their horses to the Triple Crown Series and pay $25,000 entry fee plus a $25,000 starting fee. So
That's
we're
not-
looking at
that's not bad.
We're looking at 50 G's here, boys.
Grand.
I thought it would be more than that.
Carey, you got that in your backpack.
Would have 51, but
yeah, somebody hasn't paid. Yeah,
Still waiting.
Hasn't paid him.
That, I'm telling you, that could be an investment. I could have turned that into something different.
The 20 horses with highest point totals are granted a spot, often requiring at least 20 to 30 points, though usually more, to guarantee a spot at the starting gate.
We already got the name. See, Gator gets it. Fast Lane.
Fast Lane.
That's a great horse name.
Or maybe go Fast Lane yourself.
Even better.
Get fast laned.
Love it.
Some would say go Illini, but
yeah.
Those people would be very intelligent. ILL, brother.
Come on, Carey.
ILL.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. Marsh, you want to do some criticisms and/or compliments?
Criticisms and compliments.
Boy, Wichita would be a great
Presented by
horse name.
Bet365. With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything.
all right, let's go to the Snake Pit today. I'm going to give a compliment to some of our Snake Pit listeners because they type in some funny stuff, Anthony.
Yeah, they do.
One of them, Splashback Deuce, said, ironically, the Asian elephants, we were just talking about that, one of the Gauntlet questions, are found in India,
yeah.
which is in Africa.
That's correct. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
It's not true.
Yeah. Depends on what you believe in.
Stats and facts.
Curb Stomp from the Air Comfort Service text line, another banger. A hashtag banged. No, he didn't put that. I did. But this show as a whole, Ollie haters. Oh, wow. It's the best sports show out there. Hashtag never tired of winning.
Thank you.
Wow. That's the first time Ollie haters.
Just a great text to us. Thank you. Very large.
Lisa says, guys, have a great night. Golf League starts at Yorktown. LOL. Par 3. That's from Lisa. I didn't know Lisa was a golfer.
I didn't either.
You learn something new every day.
Lisa surprises us at every turn. See what I did there?
Yep.
She horse racing too?
Probably. She probably owns a horse.
Probably. If not, she could.
Mm-hmm. It says Fast Lane You, Ollie. That's the horse's name.
Or it might be Skip.
Might be. Yeah. Or Tony.
Yeah, this is
Or
true.
La Russa.
Walt.
Duncan.
Mo?
CD ruined it.
Come on, man.
Nah, I don't think so. All right, fire away, Marsh.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
Before we get to the 3 Stars of the Day, the 314 wants to know, I'm just confirming that was a joke, right? Because India is not in Africa. Was that an old joke that I missed a long time ago?
Yes, it was.
I love the fact that somebody listening thought we were serious.
Yeah, no, we be joking.
A lot.
Now.
Maybe not then.
Some of us get
Sometimes
confused.
it's the way you hear the question.
Yeah. Or not paying attention because you're pissed because you got random.
That is,
That happened to be the case that day.
Wow. It's a random situation you just brought up.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to the Buffalo Sabres goat head logo, the one that Anthony loves, because of Dominic Hasek.
Don't clap.
No, don't clap.
I'm trying to figure out why it's a goat head for us.
Buffalo Sabres, the goat head.
That's
let's
weird.
let's admire the goat head because Dominic Hasek, who also wore the original Sabres logo, wore the goat head.
Carey, check out that black and red
I saw it
Sabres
earlier.
sweater.
Terrible. I was confused.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I love it.
It's terrible.
Our second star of the day goes out to licorice, normal licorice.
Yeah,
not that
black
black
licorice.
licorice stuff. No.
So they both taste the same.
No,
They just
they
don't.
do
It's
not.
like Skittles.
I'm pretty sure
taste the same.
I'm pretty sure black licorice or red licorice is black licorice.
I'm certain that it's not.
You're not.
It doesn't taste like it.
Well, you said you don't eat the black licorice.
I've eaten it. I've tasted it before, and it tastes like trash. It's awful.
When have you eaten trash?
I would assume that that's what trash tastes like.
Well, you don't know.
I know it don't taste good.
Carey, I'm going to make sure you get more black licorice in your life.
Yeah, I'm okay.
And our first star of the day goes out to the St. Charles Community College football team.
Yeah.
The Fighting Pirates.
Give it 3 years, they'll be in the playoffs.
CD, it is confirmed.
Yeah.
Red licorice is not black licorice.
Thank you.
It's not even licorice. It's just fruit-flavored crap. And black licorice is actually
That's not what that says.
traditional licorice.
Yep.
That's not what that says.
Yeah.
That Carey's Googling.
No, I'm actually Googling the St. Charles Community College mascot.
I don't think they have.
I don't think so either. For Carey Davis.
They have athletics.
For Carey Davis, for Andrew Marsh.
Go Pirates.
For Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.